No, that wouldn't make you need no jacket in winter.
I mean,
he's got a hot body temperature.
Patrice O'Neal in studio. I went to a Rangers game with him once, and we had a meet on the corner, and it was one of these fucking cold New York fucking nights. I had a hat on, a winter coat. I was kind of cold. He shows up like that. I'm like, are you serious?
That's what I'm asking. It's a disease.
It has to be. He shows up in
disease, and he's not paying attention.
Yeah, you got some glandular problem. Or
Lavitis.
It was snowing, and he's got a T-shirt and shorts on. I'm like, what are you? It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. It is. I've seen you dressed in T-shirts when winter out. That's just
not.
They checked out, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Exactly. Something's going on.
You know, internally hot and shit.
Making a bunch of ice cubes into a hat.
I hate when Patrice walks in while the commercials are on, because then he does like 20 minutes of shit that could have been for the radio.
It could have been, but I got more.
All right, you got more?
Another fucking.
You'll make more?
I'll make more. I got a story about how William Shatner and his wife almost made me cry.
Really?
Oh, shit.
And
You got all
really,
sensitive?
For real, yeah. Almost got...
Well, can we get this out of the way?
What?
You killed on the roast.
All
And
right,
people
thank
need
you.
to hear that out there.
Thank you.
You killed on the Charlie Sheen roast. And I know maybe you don't like the compliments here and there, but...
I enjoy compliments.
All right, but you fucking...
He just doesn't recognize them when they come.
You
What
fucking
you say,
destroyed.
motherfucker, I was good? What you trying to say?
You destroyed it, man.
Thank
You really did.
I appreciate it. I'm glad it came off. In the room, I was comfortable, but then the editing, I was like, oh boy.
Oh, like,
shit.
They fuck you over too bad?
Not if people thought I was good. You know?
Yeah, it was good.
And
I
the
thought it
stuff
was
they
great.
left out, I don't know if that would have made it any better. But, you know, the whole set was in the room was I did about 10 minutes, maybe 15.
Yeah.
Because I had to. Because, you know, they were setting me up for two to the back of the head. They wasn't setting me up for fucking... They wasn't giving me a fucking Schumer or a Jeselnik setup. They was giving me... Because the station knows my pedigree as a comic, but here's somebody didn't know until I walked out in the pre-intros of the dais. Nobody knows me. So I'm in a Hollywood crowd with big, funny-faced Dog the Bounty Hunter and Joe from the Wheelchair and the Family Guy. And they're just like... And I'm the only nigga on the roast, right?
He is a goofy-looking motherfucker.
Big hair plugs and shit. So I'm looking around, and they come out, and I'm always used to at least half of people going, hey.
Yeah, hey,
that's Patrice.
Sure.
Hey, it's me, right? So
Yeah.
coming out, works all over town. You know, Seth was bringing everybody out. So he's like, hey, you know, he works all around, working comic, very funny guy, Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, that's...
So I'm the only black guy in this Hollywood. Nobody know me. And why that's important is, he's a black guy on the roast. All right, must be an interesting young man. And then I said, listen, they gave me like a couple of days notice to do it. I didn't have a month, which I should have had. I had about 3 days.
Jesus.
And I only really got into it on the plane flying there on Friday. The roast was Saturday. So I said, just don't put me last. Because, I mean, there's no reason to put me last. Okay.
All right, sure.
Guess what, fat boy?
You're going last,
I should have said, I need to go last. They would have put me on. Then they would have put me on first, where John Lovitz went, which is a rough one. So
First is easy.
They knew me as a comic that could go last, but it was a setup.
Yeah.
Because no one in the audience knew me. So by the time I come up, he's a black guy, and he's doing the coveted Lisa Lampanelli last spot. Who is this young man? So I had to go, and this is the thing. If I had bombed, it would have set me back 5 years. I would have never seen y'all again. I'd have found another job because I can't. I would have had to make a comeback at the age of 48. Because if I'd have ate my balls, I'd have to hide. I'd have be on stage pretending I had confidence.
Yeah.
But there would have been
somebody
none.
would have been like, why couldn't you be funny like that on the roast?
Oh, yeah.
And then I got to explain, no, they don't understand. So I had to pull out.
Yeah.
20 years of this was a I had to prove myself.
Yeah.
I'm used to being able to just chill and work out my mind, and I had to prove myself. And now, okay, I did well, but it was like, oh yeah, that's what he does. But if I bombed, so I had to actually muster up all my experience as a comic.
Jesus.
So I had to play for the room. I had to, because and they got mad at me, the truck, because it was, hey, you know, you got AIDS and your eyes are bleeding. Like it is, and look at John Lovitz. He's a piece of shit. And just, boy, your fucking head is, you know, you have diabetes.
Yeah.
Grape soda. Like, it's just like, the motherfuckers' heads was going like this, up and down. So I'm up there like, if I had did what I had prepared because they needed it, they wanted it on the monitor, I get up there after William Shatner was racist, in a funny way.
Right.
I'm like, all right, that's it. You know, I'm going to have to be a comic. I can't do, and then Seth MacFarlane,
Yeah.
can't do it. So I had to half wing it, half material, and the material give you the confidence to wing it. So that's why I was winging it, and they was going well. Then I go, okay, I also got some jokes I prepared.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of it was just ranting on the phony Hollywood thing, because they decided it was no disease day at the roast when they edited. Everybody said some disease jokes, not just. Except for diabetes, that was allowed. You know, diabetes is a jokey. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But like, Jeff Ross said a fucking funny joke. He says to me, Patrice, you said you'll never do one of these roasts. You're a sickle sellout.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious. So when
funny.
I was up, I was like, Jesus, I hope you get Tay-Sachs disease, right? Which is a Jew disease.
Yeah.
So, and Crohn's. And then, but it was a great ad-lib, because I go, I hope you get Crohn's disease so it can stop some of that shit from coming out your mouth, because Crohn's. So we had a good time. Cut that shit out. All that shit got cut out.
Are they afraid of disease people calling?
All of that shit got cut
Down
out.
syndrome,
dude.
I heard, got cut out or beeped.
Everything that had to do with any diseases.
I mean, Steve-O's whole act got cut out.
It just,
See, assuming he's retarded.
you know, it was a rough one, but it was like, you know, I did it. I did it because of Charlie. Like, I did it because I wanted to meet the guy. I thought he was like, you gotta meet this fucking guy. And let's not be self-righteous. They was planning on it being the biggest rated, whatever.
Yeah,
and they was paying some
10
good
million
dough.
people.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, I'll do it. I'll do that fucking thing. Fuck it. And then, but the hard thing was not to sabotage it, because it was not set up for you to do well.
Yeah. You
wasn't-
had everything against you on that one.
Like, you
but
walk in
pulled
and
it
think
off.
you're gonna, they like, hey, Patrice, we love you. Come on, do it. And then you come in the room and there's plastic on the ground. Like,
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
oh, no.
Oh, no.
Like, these
In the
niggas,
back of the
are they
head.
still trying to destroy my career by allowing Anthony Jeselnik to be famous? Don't do that. Don't do that. Like Comedy Central, they fucking tell people they're gonna be famous. You see Whitney Cummings, that bitch is a showrunner on 2 shows.
Yeah.
Who the fuck has ever heard of that?
It's crazy. That's insanity.
It's unheard of. And I'm not mad at the bitch. It's just, I'm trying to get on True TV. This bitch is show running on the 2 major networks.
I'm surprised more of you guys don't kill yourselves.
Yeah, right?
I'm not even, you know what I mean? But you're way more talented than Whitney Cummings, I'll say it. And she's got 2 huge shows and you're trying to get...
You know what it feels like? You're familiar with Donnie Brasco, of course, right?
Yeah, of
course.
The movie.
Yeah.
You feel like Ruggiero, what's his name? Lefty?
Yeah.
You feel like Lefty because you go, I shoot my best friend in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I fucking... When I think I'm going to be murdered, I show up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm down with the game. But people just that haven't earned it. I think it's like being, or even Platoon, the guy who was running Sergeant Barnes' platoon.
Yeah. The lieutenant.
But Sergeant Barnes is like smacking him in the head with a phone, like, you dumb motherfucker. That's how you feel, like
you fucked up fire mission.
You cut up, and you're doing 4 or 5 tours of duty, And this bitch got 2 shows.
Now, the lefty's a good analogy, though, because the whole career you feel like you're pulling a fucking 100 out of a card that says to a friend of ours and ripping it in half. Every time somebody gets something, you rip your card up.
So again, it's not nothing against her. I'm just,
Right.
she just represents something.
Well, okay, because I was going to ask you, what is that about? Because, no joke, you're way more fucking funny than her.
Dude, I bet you.
Jimmy, of course, is in the same boat, and you guys have a tough time trying to get these big fucking projects.
I don't know who the peers are of Roseanne or Brett Butler, but I bet you they weren't like, what? When Roseanne got her shit. Because she earned it, it seemed like. It seemed like Roseanne did the rounds, or Margaret Cho did the rounds, or Janine Gala, they did the, but you go, I think the anger is that a lot of people don't feel like she got that spot.
There is anger. Oof.
Well, but it's not anger towards her in particular. It's anger because the business says, here's my sabotage mindset. I had to fight the thing like, really? Like, after I did well. Really? Like, this just validated me?
Jesus, Patrice.
Patrice just can't.
Dude,
Fair enough,
no,
but you gotta knock that
I
shit
didn't do it,
down.
though. I didn't do it. I'm telling you, motherfuckers.
Right, yeah.
But in my head, I had to fight that. I had to fight, a couple of Twitter people. Oh, this guy's pretty good. What did you just say to me? Did you just say you're going to follow me? Do you know I block people on a regular basis? I don't need you. Just mad, but I curbed that. I did. But that's my instinct is to go, if I ate my balls on this show, it's a setback. If I kill, it's just par for the course.
It's just, Fame
didn't call. I was still walking through Marshalls yesterday. It was like,
Fame didn't call?
It didn't call yet. I got my
What
phone.
the fuck's going on with Fame?
I think
Fame doesn't have your phone number.
It has my Twitter account.
Has your Twitter
No,
account.
but Fame has called a lot, and Fame is tired of being hung up on.
You're not Fame.
And cursed out. What do you want? Click.
But I certainly...
I walked through Marshalls yesterday. That's funny.
I certainly didn't do anything bad.
Was there a little tick up?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah,
after the roast where...
10 million people watched it. I don't know where it ticks up at. I don't think...
It wasn't a huge jump, obviously.
It wasn't like, I'm not famous because, but
That's pretty fucked up.
10 million people saw it. So what it is, I think in the industry, too, it might have upped it because that's who was validated for.
Right.
So everybody that already knows me from being a good comic just decided I was a good comic.
Yeah.
At this particular thing.
You talked to Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
Is he a cool guy?
He's very cool, man. Very funny, very cool, but it was his night, so it wasn't, I don't like that feeling of bothering a guy.
Right.
Yeah,
so it was a thank you, it was pleasantries, it was this and that, and then boom.
How did Tyson treat you?
Tyson was cool. Tyson's
Does he know you?
No, he's a hood guy. Like, Tyson's very hood.
Yeah.
So Tyson gave me the size my body up pat when he met me.
Oh, did he?
To see if he fucked me up. To see, he was size. That's what they do in the hood.
God
He said,
damn.
hey, man, how you doing? He shook me to see how easy it would be to
stout you were,
put me
yeah.
through
How
a
solid
wall.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Put you through a wall.
That shit
That's
goes
that
on?
shit.
Is that the move?
It was hood shit. So, see,
You think he realizes he's doing it, or it's just such a habit when
it's
he
a
meets
habit
somebody?
when he was from Brooklyn and he was a thug.
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
would know who he fuck with.
So you just kind of give him a little shake.
Is that also a dominance thing too,
That's
where
hilarious.
you know
Yeah,
you can
but
shake a guy like that?
He
Like that's a.
wouldn't- But he wouldn't do that to you. He wouldn't do that
'Cause he knows
wouldn't do
better.
that
Yes, he
to-
knows.
He wouldn't even. I don't know
Don't shake
if
the
he
white
would do
man.
it to a white guy,
he
but he
already
wouldn't
knows.
do
Look
it
at us.
to. So he's like, "What's up?"
But he
baby?"
knows he could lay
Look at
me
this
into
big
a
motherfucker.
fucking
That's like
wall.
he was
Yeah.
doing
Exactly.
he was doing an interview with the workaholics kids, and he was like, and he's done. He goes, what's up, that big nigga right there? And he just shook my hand. Crack, shake your shoulders, and I go. I want to go, niggas. Don't. We at the roast. Stop trying to rob me, motherfucker.
Is he intimidating? When you see him?
His legend is.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have that boundary between professional and civilian. Like, if you really bothered him, he would punch you.
Well, I said even they played it on the roast, but I even went further where I was just like, I don't like the feeling of not being afraid of Mike Tyson. So white people will put me in a bad spot by having him singing and clapping at pigeons to make me think that he ain't Mike Tyson.
He's not gonna beat your ass.
And on a street level, he'll beat you down.
Yep.
He can fight. You know, that's what always killed me when they say he's a bully. How can you be a bully when you beat up people for a living? Like you.
Yeah, that's your job.
It's like you beat up other guys that beat up people for their profession.
Yeah.
So he can't be a bully.
Who said he was a bully? I never heard that.
You've never heard them say Mike Tyson is a bully?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard them say he fought bad fighters.
No, they call him a bully.
Wow.
Mike Tyson, once someone stands up to him, he actually whoops ass.
That's what he does.
He's not a bully.
Yeah,
You know, so he was, you know, you felt that vibe, but he was still a cool dude. He wasn't, you know, he didn't do anything, but I'd say, oh, this guy's from the street big time, because I haven't did that in a long time, size a guy up and shake him.
Sizing up. I just learned something new right there.
No clue.
If a guy touches you and starts moving you around, he's sizing you up.
What's the William Shatner story where you said
I love William Shatner. Love me.
we love him. He's going to be on again soon.
That's
right?
right.
He's really human, man. Really a human guy.
Yeah.
And he was with his wife. And after the show, I'm kind of in that. Okay, I was in a fog the whole time because I didn't sleep. It was weird. You know, you're just there telling you to walk here and walk there.
Yeah.
You're trying to be yourself, and it's like, what happens to being yourself? You know, some cunt camera lady is mad because you actually see the bitch not give a fuck about you. That's the thing, in the red carpet shit, all that shit. You walk down, Patrice, you go, oh, okay, hey. And then one bitch go, pfft, and she's looking at hey, cunt, just fucking pretend you're looking at me, right?
Fuck you,
But you can't do that shit.
Well, we played it on the show. What did he say to somebody on the red carpet? It was pretty funny. You were just you weren't going to play, man.
Right, that's what I was trying to play, but when the way you play, that's not how you do it.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you find out what that means when you fuck with them.
Yeah.
They leave you out.
Yeah.
They like, roasters included fucking Big Bird from Sesame Street. I'm like, he wasn't on the roast.
No Patrice, yeah.
Nothing.
Do you like stopping for your picture when you walk? I hate stopping.
No.
I'm terrified that no one wants my photo.
Well, no one does if you're not.
He's stopping.
It's scary.
hilarious.
I'd rather walk right through behind a publicist and just keep going. It scares me to death to stop.
But that's what there'll be somebody that, and then you'll go. Then the publicist will be like, Patrice O'Neal is here. And they just start fixing their shoes.
Humiliating.
And then some Turkish reporter goes, okay, so can you give me some of the jokes? Bitch, die.
Oh, that's
You and your
hilarious.
fucking your turban, just get out of here.
It's
I'm
like-
fucking Turban Weekly. So
It's like, don't tell anyone I'm here.
yeah, it's
If they
embarrassing.
recognize that's
It is
good.
embarrassing.
They're waiting for fucking Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
So you go out and you give her some, and then you got to know what to say because they'll take a soundbite and say, Patrice O'Neal said Charlie Sheen's breath stinks.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. So you understand, like when you watch interviews and they're just like, this sucks. It's because they just don't, you don't want to bother getting in trouble for being you.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I fucking had a thing with the Workaholics kids. I had anxiety. I had no patience. Because the Workaholics kids are, and it's not against them, they're just these new breed of white guys who don't care. That's their thing. So it's like, hey, what's your name? My name's Superman. Oh, so what do you do? Well, I fucking save the Earth on a regular basis. I actually kick-started the sun and turned time back to save
Hipster
people.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, man.
Is that the detached fucking phony?
Yeah.
Wait, I never heard of this.
I never did either.
The Workaholics.
Fuck
What is it?
I can't
you.
believe they showed it because they edited it so that it's actually fun because it didn't end well. 'Cause
Really?
He's like, hey, what's going on?
But I don't even know what this is.
It's these kids. They're in a comedy troupe, and Comedy Central gave them a show called
Look at his
Workaholics.
face.
But it's like they're
Like
pushing.
the frozen face. Look at this.
There's nothing worse than that frozen fucking
Like
face.
he's not impressed by me.
So they
like
let-
he don't need to be fucker. But
All
don't-
right, so they have a
you
show
know.
on Comedy Central, and then
and so
they were at
Comedy
the
Central
roast.
wanted to push them, so they let them do the interviews on
Oh,
the red
okay,
carpet.
All right, turn that a little bit, sweetie.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see his face. Frozen face. Oof.
Look at him.
All right, let's push play on this phone.
Who are you, dude?
God.
Let me turn back to the beginning.
Yeah, how about you find
What are you
that?
doing, Sam? Stop ruining everything.
Oh, Sam.
Suck.
Doing my very best.
Look at this.
Yo, guys, I'm kind of here with Patrice O'Neal, more or less. What's up, dude?
I'm kind
How you
of.
doing?
Wait. Hold on. What was that? What did that even mean? I'm kind of here with Patrice O'Neal, more or less.
I don't know what he's
But I
doing.
don't know, man.
But they should have warned me that this is his character so I could be.
Well, what?
Fuck
Why?
that guy.
Does the show do well?
It's new. It hasn't done well. Like, it's not a big show.
No
right
one
now.
knows about it.
All right, hit it.
Down ass chick right
Pants
there.
just moved.
Anders, go ahead.
Yo, guys, I'm kind of here with Patrice O'Neal, more or less. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good, man.
Good. You gonna walk out of here with the statue or no?
Of what?
These women.
No. Like, nah, I don't think so. Nah, they're not even allowed to talk.
It's all cocaine on them. You know that, right?
Why is every white guy like the new characters? I don't give a Like, I'm this day, he's like, so what's the deal, man? Shaking on the statue. Okay. I'm trying to make it work. Let's do it again.
I'm here with Patrice O'Neal, being a white man.
Great guy. I don't care, man. I don't get it. What's wrong with the society? That's my job to be angry.
It's been real. Back to you guys.
And I know that was sarcasm somehow.
Hey, thanks, Anders. We're with Seth MacFarlane here.
Dude, I don't know why they showed it.
Oh, thank God they did. You called that
Good for you.
motherfucker out.
Fuck him.
I don't
stupid
believe
show.
it was not pleasant because I'm like,
No, but the line
Called
about
him out for being fake.
the line about why is every character I don't care is it's a weird that's an exposing line. That's embarrassing.
yeah.
When someone
Good for
calls
him.
you out on that.
Good for Patrice.
That's embarrassing.
Here,
So I'm surprised they showed that
more or
too.
less. I could be here. I could be fucking at a coffee place. I don't care. Whatever. I'm here with this guy, Patrice O'Neal. If I got a mic.
Because they don't connect with you at
No,
all. They don't know
no.
how to connect with you. They don't know how to connect. So they think that just being stiff and frozen was a good word and detached makes them seem like they're unattainable when they don't know how to connect.
So you're gonna walk away with one of these statues now? Riff on that. I just gave you something. Be funny now.
I don't get
really be funny. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
How about
not
you
going
have
with
some
that shit.
interviewing skills, you fucking asshole?
And I'm walking through with anxiety. So whatever you can do to go, well, hey, Patrice, let's look at it from his point of view.
Yeah.
Look at it from my point of view. Dude, I'm in this situation with a day's notice.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous about my jacket. And you going, please just don't attack what I'm already self-conscious about. Because I had a T-shirt and a sparkly jacket. That was my red carpet.
Right.
I thought that was leather. I swear to God, I thought that was leather. That's a sparkly. Let me see.
Well, it looks like it's leather.
looks
It's
It looks
not
like, it
leather.
looks like a
Yeah.
leather jacket.
It's some kind of like denim or something.
Oh.
So I'm hoping everything is going well with my clothing. So
Why were you wait? Did you bring that or they gave it to you? Why were you
no,
nervous?
they fucking I brought it. Meaning I'm like, okay, cool. I'm hoping I look,
Oh, okay.
So my mind is like, all right, don't fuck up
Yeah.
the shit. Just go along. That's what I was trying to do. Do the right thing. And
The
And you
last
get
person
that.
you'd want on that line would be Keith Robinson. How fucking fast?
Oh my
Nah, what's that
God.
jacket, stupid?
Look at that fucking jacket. What the fuck you got that on?
it was too.
you dressed up for this
Oh, he
shit?
just ruined your night before you walk in the door.
Fuck.
Ross got me. They didn't play it. They didn't play it. I don't know why. Ross was in the room.
Yeah.
Ross was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He goes, he goes, Patrice, why are you dressed like a gay umpire? But here's the one. Bobby said when I was talking to him on the phone that would have hurt me. It would have struck me, and I would have had to get that out of my.
Oh, shit.
He said, "You look like Janet Jackson from Rhythm Nation." If someone had said that to me, I'd have had to. I would have really had to. I would have been mad, like fuck.
Yeah. You would have had to get out of that one.
Oh.
Would have been rough.
But
You were just
so-
glad none of your friends were around.
Dude,
you were happy to be doing that by yourself.
They would have just laughed at me. They would have just laughed at me. So I was trying to not fuck up that roast. I was trying to not make anybody's job hard like
Yeah.
usual. But then they put these kids who probably 20 with confidence that they gave them.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like again, man, I'm a made guy. Like where I go, I can hold my in any of these fucking boroughs.
Yeah.
There's Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's a good one.
No fucking
No
way.
one said it. No one said it, thank God. Because I'd have said, you
that would've hurt.
fucking fuckers.
That would have hurt.
God,
We got a guy.
that's a fucking good one.
we got a guy sticking up for workaholics, saying funny as hell. Fine,
yeah.
man. Fine if you like
I don't
it.
care. Yeah, right. I'm not
Whatever.
against you thinking
Whatever.
that they're funny.
Yeah,
it's
that's
for
fine.
me.
I don't get it.
I don't like. I'm not into. I don't care, guy. No one I know that's of a certain age, any
Yeah.
comic, is like this character of slow moving confidence.
Yeah.
That dude, if you walk somewhere in this city or in L.A. or whatever where there's some fucking hardened comics who's been chopping away. People kind of know them. People kind of don't. But they've always fucking hitting home runs. And this kid is like, so who are you? What are you?
Yeah.
I'm kind of here more or less with him.
Kinda,
I don't care
guess.
if he's intimidated and that's how his thing is. But I'm in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know, act right.
You can't play along with that shit.
I can't.
That's not your thing.
And none of those guys are I've noticed not one of those type of mentality guys has ever made me laugh in person, and not one of those guys I've ever thought was funny off the cuff on the air, or I wouldn't mind it so much. But it really is uncomfortableness, and they think that by being stone-faced, they're hiding the fact that they're scared.
Yeah.
It's like the hipsters who are pretending that they think they're nerds when they really know they're much better looking than nerds, and they have a lot more money than fucking than nerds do, but they're trying to be something.
There's too much thought behind it.
Yeah, it's planned.
It's not natural.
Just ask me to go along.
Yeah.
Like, just say, hey, Patrice, they do this thing.
This is my thing.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, man, hey, dude. It's like, okay, no problem. I could have been like, then I could be in my world, you could be in yours. But that whole thing where you're not preparing me to be, not disrespected, but like, really?
It was. I think it was like a disrespect kind of a thing. Like, he probably is sitting there going, Patrice.
But if that's his character,
like,
he probably did that with everybody.
Did he?
Yeah,
I'm
but
guessing.
so fucking what?
But I mean, that's not a personal disrespect.
No, I didn't take it like that.
No,
but I'm
I'm
just
saying.
like, whatever your character is, it should be prepared just in case. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so on the roast going last, if you're that guy,
Yeah.
in a situation where the room has been there for 3 hours and this and that, and they have to set you up for success because your thing is, hey, this is what I do, and I'm not gonna not do it. Yeah. Who are you? Oh, interesting.
Hey, more or less.
William Shatner.
Oh, William Shatner.
I'm still trying to get you to do the William Shatner.
He fucking him and his wife.
Yeah.
So he's talking to me after he goes, Patrice. Oh, fantastic. All right. I go, thank you, sir. He goes, yeah, very good. Oh, it was, wow, yeah. I was like really liking the fact William Shatner's like into me, right?
Captain Kirk.
So we're walking and everybody's getting in their cars. Whoever's going to the after party's on site, and whoever's going home is going home. So him and his wife were kind of going home. I think her name is Liz. So him and Liz was coming. And he was Liz. They love each other. Old white couple that love each other. They just
he's 80-something.
They're amazing, and she might be in her 50s, maybe something like that.
Chippy.
Nice, Hollywood looking, good looking lady, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So they're talking, and he goes, oh, and I go, hey, man, she says, did you have fun? I said, I'm starting to have fun. This was after. I was like, I think I am.
I'm starting to relax.
I'm starting to relax. And he goes, oh, okay, well, try to relax. I said, I'm trying so hard, man, but I can't stop being miserable. I'm so trying not to be miserable. He goes, oh, and here comes his wife. Hi, he goes, honey, didn't you think Patrice was great? She said, yeah. Wasn't he your favorite? No, Jack Ross was, so that was super honest, right?
Yeah.
So she starts, he goes, honey, I'm just talking to Patrice about being, miserable and trying to be happy. And she goes, oh, it's probably testosterone, right? And she goes, when guys start to lose their testosterone, because that's what makes them go, they get angry. And I'm like, And then he goes, but honey, Patrice, she goes, oh, but he shouldn't worry about that because he's young. He goes, but honey, Patrice has diabetes. And that stops you from producing all the things you need in your body. She goes, oh, that's probably why he's so take what happened. Oh my God. This conversation with each other about how my body is breaking down. And I have less testosterone and less manness. But they weren't being cruel. It was just, he's sick and can't produce. And she's like, yeah. And so he gives me a hug. You were great, young man. Gets in their fucking limo, and I'm welling up.
You're like, motherfucker.
Because I'm realizing, oh, God, it's not just, I'm just an angry dude. My body's making me angry. My testosterone is gone.
Leave the poor man alone. He's had enough.
And I'm like,
Bones, check him out. He's on death's door.
They had a 10-minute conversation.
Oh my
about
God!
How,
right in front of you.
Why I was just miserable, and it was human. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to hurt me. It was just like,
Oh,
that's funny.
take care of yourself.
hope I made your night better.
Liz is like, bye.
Okay,
I'll bet you they
Warp
do that
Factor
to.
1.
I'll bet you they have that conversation with everybody. They find something. I bet they're like, "Oh, we got him pretty good."
Oh, they leave laughing.
They probably did that to Jeff Ross about something else. Well, you're a Jew. Jews aren't supposed to feel good after 30.
Just crying.
Oh, my eyes
Shatner and
was
his wife
welling up.
laughing.
I'm not lying. Because it was like, I started going, is that it? Because I'd be mad all the fucking time. I'm like, is it my testosterone is going? And she just was like, now you know how it feels about like menopause.
Damn. She was saying,
yeah, because she was like, that's what happens to women. Menopause makes us miserable.
Why doesn't Bill Shatner talk to people who've known you for 15 years? You're the exact same guy I met 15 years ago. What do you think? What do you think? You were charming when we met, and all of a sudden you got angry? You've been terrible for a long time.
Norton keeps saying I was on Norton's side when we first met. The only time I hated Norton at any point, we drove to Sackett's Harbor. Or Sags Harbor, and he cuddled with his girlfriend the whole time and ignored me. Like I was like, this will be fun. I like Norton, and Norton falls in love with anything.
Yeah, I was 1999,
and he just cuddles up. So the whole ride up to this shitty place for 6 hours was Norton licking his girl's ear and driving, and I'm in the back like fucking reverse Miss Daisy. Just like, hey, let's talk about something. He's like, pfft. But it's because I guess he hated me from this gig we did.
I never hated you. I was kidding. I liked you a lot, actually.
I'm
just telling you weren't pleasant.
I don't think I'm unpleasant.
I know you don't. No one unpleasant ever thinks they're unpleasant.
Did you see the roast?
Cancer doesn't know it's cancer.
I was the least. It just is.
It just is.
I was the least mean. The least mean on the fucking roast. But that's how we are. If you listen to our roast, the roast that they did of me, or the roast, the Voss roast, or the Norton roast, you can hear it's love.
Yeah, it's your friends
definitely.
roasting.
Yeah,
it's not evil. It's
your
just,
friends.
It's fun somehow. And I'm just saying, this thing is. It was how much can you say awful to people you don't know?
That does come across like that now on the roast they do these days.
They could have joked. Somebody called John Lovitz. I'm not saying who, but they just said John Lovitz is a child molester, and that was it. And I'm like, I wonder what that means.
What, is he?
And then they could. I don't know. And then Mike Tyson had to get a no rape clause. Can't talk about rape.
Oh, really?
No, you can't do it. He said, I'm
He
not
should
doing
get one
it if you
where-
motherfuckers call me a rapist all day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
That's why nobody hit that shit. I was surprised they hit the prison shit a little bit.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Because when somebody said, I think Lovett said something about prison, like Iron Mike, that's what they say to you in prison, in the prison laundry all the time. He's like, all right. But you can see it's like, all right, I told somebody don't fuck with me.
That's as far as you're going,
with that
little
shit.
man.
Somebody's going to not, do well.
He would knock some people out.
Oh,
on
hurt
the
him. But I don't think he would. I think
He
he
would
would
just walk off.
choke somebody up
choke
in the
him
back.
out?
In the back. He'll hem somebody up. But I don't think he would knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't hit Steve-O. Steve-O, I heard, wanted to get punched by Mike.
Yes.
Like actual, and Mike's like, I'm not punching you, dude. No. He said, well, can you just hold your fist out while I run into
And he
it?
ran into his fist and busted his nose up.
His nose up. But Mike, the Tyson thing and the like Kate Walsh. People are writing, and she goes, well, Patrice, grape soda is not a fruit,
Right.
Which is fine. They all were fine. That was fine to me. But it was some that, I'm like, this is not cool, man. I think I guess she might have had abortions or something, but somebody said something about her abortions.
Yeah.
Kate Walsh had 8 abortions, and she's trying to keep her head up, but it's like, you think this woman wants to hear about her
At some
abortion?
point, she's got to know that when she shows up, though. It's almost like if you're Tyson, you can get that clause in there. But most people, it's like that's what it takes when you accept that. Like you kind of know that anything,
Especially
can
if
be
it's
fucked with.
strangers that don't really know you.
Yeah, that's harder.
Like you guys were saying.
If you're shitting on each other, it's a little bit different
Right.
because you know where it's coming from.
If you Wikipedia me and just say what you learn from Wikipedia and what you see on Google and what, it's just like you can. My thing is, I was trying to make a synopsis of what I saw of you as a person that I know as a person. Here's my synopsis of what you are, even though I don't know you. But nothing personal like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I saw that your dog had pneumonia. And I wish you had pneumonia instead of your dog. Your dog. Your dead doggy. And you just go, woo, boy.
See, you got to just go for the good stuff. Like, if I saw you there, I'd probably be like, look at all those rings. What are you, starting a ring store or something?
Which would have been better. I tell you, in the room, I love William. I think William Shatner came off fantastic on TV.
Yeah.
And in the room, but Jeff Ross, from start to finish, in the room was amazing.
Yeah.
I have to say, he was phenomenal. He knew how to. He did know how to do it.
He knows how to do that shit.
Great at those.
He knew how to do it, man. I have to say, and Amy in the room killed too.
Yeah.
She really crushed in the room. Like she did her thing.
She came off really well.
I have to say that. I mean, I have to say, so it's like,
All right.
It was,
why don't we break? Why don't we do your set one last time before we move on?
It was very good. We heard
did you
it.
do it at any time? Oh, you already did it?
We did it this week.
I didn't know that. Oh,
we'll do it again, though. For the Charlie Sheen roast, Patrice O'Neill, and a little later this morning, Chris Cornell's coming in to say hi to us.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly?
No, I just good song.
Any Doors fans in the room here?
Yeah, motherfucker.
I like the Doors.
What's the anniversary? 44 years ago, People Are
played out.
Strange.
He wrote this, what was it, Walking Up What Street, Broadway?
44 years ago?
44 years ago.
He would have been 80?
Holy shit!
44. No, he died at
27.
27 and
71 he would
71. So that's 40 years. So yeah.
That guy would have been 70 fucking 1 year
No.
old.
Oh man, come on.
How many years
60
ago did he die?
60. When did he die? 71. That's
Well, if this was
71's
40
40 years ago.
67.
40 years, so 67. Okay, he would have been.
He would be 67. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like one of the Wilburys.
Yeah. We
You
can't use that
motherfuckers
joke
are
anymore.
lucky
The
I-
Wilburys aren't around anymore. That used to be a good
I liked
fucking
the
go-to
Wilburys.
joke.
Can I
Patrice
just-
O'Neill in studio. Let me get the plug in for you,
okay.
Patrice. Stress Factory this weekend, tonight and Saturday. 732-545. Ha ha.
At the Stress Factory, Vinny's room. Vinny said hi, by the way.
Fuck Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny.
Fuck him.
That guy
I'm trying
takes
to
care
book
of
that
us too,
fucking
man.
room. Got this collection of nobodies coming up that he can't move.
Who?
Vinny.
He can't push one of those guys aside for little Jimmy Norton.
Fucking.
He will.
I don't know if he will. We got Bob Peters in from Minneapolis.
Vinny's still trying to figure out how to make his room less hack. It looks like a TGI Fridays mixed with pictures of fucking Hammy Hammerstein as a fucking.
He's got passion for what he does, though.
Here's the thing. I tend to believe that I was in the lead pushers of him stopping to do that stupid phone call in the show. And stop showing videos of people.
Oh, he doesn't do the
hitting
videos anymore?
Hitting that groin.
You don't like the little jokes that would come up with them?
Oh,
no, Mom.
just.
I know
I'm
he's talking about the montage of videos.
It's like,
Yeah,
why,
with the babies puking and all that.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
show funny shit before the fucking funny show.
Just trying to get everyone in the mood.
Don't fucking show the guy that hits his balls on the fucking the pommel horse.
Oh, everybody makes
Watch
the
out!
noise.
Hey!
Oh no!
By the way, you're lucky I'm in here today. I just want to say because they raised the fucking Holland Tunnel price
No shit.
to $12.
Well, you have Easy Pass, don't you?
No. It doesn't go down though.
Yeah,
you don't
because it's only
get a fucking
$1.50
break.
raise. If it's only $1.50 raise,
They
you have
decided.
Easy Pass.
They decided to
Fuck
really
that.
fuck the cash guys.
Why
$4
would you-
for
Fuck it.
$4 for the cash guys. $1.50 for the Easy
Why don't
Pass
you eat
guys.
the amount of hours you waste?
No,
Why?
What's the problem with Easy Pass?
I don't know.
You
Is
don't
it
know,
like
but you
a-
know
He
it's
thinks it's selling
but
out
you know
to
it's
the man.
something, right?
No, it's not selling out to the
Nah, it's like a Tony Soprano thing. Disconnect the fucking GPS on your vehicle. You don't use Easy Pass. You don't like people knowing where you are.
I traded my car that had OnStar in just to get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
No
I
more.
heard some shit. What's
No
going
more.
on with OnStar?
What are they doing?
No more
You hear that?
OnStar.
What?
Well, apparently you got to read the new terms. There's new terms for OnStar, and they are allowed to track you, use your information to sell to other people where you are, where you go, things like that. And even if you disconnect or say I want to cancel my service, they can still collect information on where you are. How about how fast you're going, shit like that.
Right.
And then that information, not now, but could be in the future, sold to insurance companies, let's say. Let's say the insurance company, you sign up for a policy, and they go, well, let's check with the people that bought information from OnStar. Well, what I'm seeing here is everywhere you go, you average 85 miles an hour. Not gonna
That's
insure
gonna hurt
you.
OnStar a lot.
Well, you know what?
Good.
They
Scumbags.
the cat's out of the bag. It just came out the other day that they're collecting this info and they are selling it to other people.
That's fucking
the guy that
sickening.
got fucking lost a divorce because they tracked his.
Oh yeah,
they tracked his Easy Pass
down.
Is that a true story?
It's an absolute.
It seems like one of those urban legends
It's
I've heard
it's
over the years.
Absolutely true story.
It's court admissible evidence, man. Yeah.
That motherfucker was going to Brooklyn
Yep.
after work, fucking get his dick sucked, and they had it on fucking Easy Pass.
Yeah.
No, and they collect your if you're Easy Passing it and the speed limit is 65 and you get somewhere faster, they have the times. So if you go from the GW to somewhere else and it's supposed to take an hour and it only took you fucking 40 minutes, you speed.
They don't
They've been
do
working
that.
on that.
But they don't do that. I'll tell you. Here's why I think. Because
They're
they're
gonna do it
afraid if they
eventually.
do it, everyone will get rid of Easy Pass.
Yeah.
I think they're afraid that if they start doing that,
No, they won't.
everybody will dump Easy Pass.
No, because we won't.
We'll
People
just
start-
eat
truckers
the
will-
tickets.
Because we're punks.
We'll just eat the tickets. You're right. We are punks.
We will do what they make us do.
Right.
Listen, I was at the airport. They don't want you asking questions. This is the thing they're trying to get you used to. Coming here one day, I was coming up 8th Ave. They just shut 8th Ave down.
Yeah.
And they had the straight stormtroopers with the M16s and the whole thing. And no one even blinked. It's so like we're Stepford people.
Yeah,
like,
what are
no
you
one's
gonna
even
do?
going, what the fuck's
What are you
going
going to get
on?
out and make a problem?
No, but just the idea of like what's going on.
Yeah.
So at the airport, I was flying on 9/11, and all of a sudden I'm putting on my shoes because I get checked all the time because I won't go through the fucking X-ray.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I hear this could be urban legend, but I think I read it. I did read it. Is that the Logan Airport TSA people are getting cancer because they've had X-rays in Logan since 9/11, so they're being exposed to this fucking this X-ray all the time.
Good. Well,
And
they should. You're the people that let those motherfuckers in.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, what they actually said at one point, you forgot your box cutter.
You dropped it, sir.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm there. I'm putting my shoes on, and I just hear, "Go Bravo! Go Bravo!" People running back and forth, and you're like, "What in the fuck?"
Can I need coffee?
And then evidently that was the code for it was the exact time that one of the planes hit the building, I guess, and that's what it was, code Bravo. They're screaming. So then after everybody's a girl, a black girl's like in remembrance to the people who died in the World Trade Center, we will. So it was nothing but an announcement to honor the people who died, but I'm like,
That's
why couldn't you
fucked
do that?
up.
But they're screaming.
Why are they screaming?
Wait a minute. So I see this kid. I'm walking. I go, dude, let me ask you a question. And then if you put black bitches in charge or something, it's never easy going.
They love some
Can
power.
I help you, sir?
It's the worst to deal with.
I do and I know black girls don't like this. They don't like not acknowledging your face finger wave.
Oh, so you
they
don't look at their face, but
don't
you
look at
just
their
wave their
face.
finger.
Do you need some help? Nah. So I'm asking the guy. I'm saying, let me ask you a question, man. What was you guys just yelling at? Because I didn't understand. I just heard screaming. Oh, we was yelling Code Bravo because that was the code on 9/11, and that happened right then at the moment. Oh, so that's why you were screaming. And yeah, she came over, slinking over to put her little ear to hear what he asked you. Like, it's like they trying to get us into a place where we just don't question. So back to what you think about the Easy Pass, that it's like, they wouldn't do that because we wouldn't. We're fucking
we're
pussies.
sheep.
We take it in the ass cheeks
All the time.
all day long, and we like it.
Yeah.
So
I still think if they started giving out tickets and people started getting whacked with tickets for Easy Pass, people would absolutely stop using their
Well,
Easy
guess
Pass.
why they wouldn't? Because they're phasing out these dumb toll booth people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why they
Now
get
there's
the
going to be no
worst.
alternative.
They get the worst toll booth people, so that when they lose their job, you don't care.
Yeah.
You go, thank God this
Good, they're
fucking
gone.
Haitian guy lost his job. He's a dick.
That's when you buy your fucking, there's no more of the token agents in the subway And the last ones of those that are left are just sitting there, fucking Jabba the Hutt, sitting in those fucking booths, and no one cares about them. They want everything to be automated.
Mall parking, no more attendants in mall parking. You gotta pay for it at the machine. Period.
Pay for it. And now everything, and I've said this in the past, everything is presented to you as a convenience when it first comes out.
Yeah.
Look how convenient this is. And I don't want to sound like a conspirator here, but things do end up being used against you. The convenience of Easy Pass, right?
Right.
The convenience of any other electric GPS, things like that. And then now I love this one. It's just Progressive commercials are showing the convenience of being able to put a unit that Progressive will supply you with in your car that shows you, the insurance company, what a safe driver you are and brings your rates down. Because now they can monitor your speed and driving habits through this electronic device and be like, hey, look at this. You're driving safe. We'll give you lower rates. They don't mention the fact that if you get into an accident, they will pull every bit of info off of that and go, hey, fuck you. We're not covering you. You fucked up. You fucked up. You were driving like an asshole. Here's the proof, the little device we gave you, to help you.
Of course.
Yeah, but it's not always that way. Because, look at your cell phones. Have they been used to...
Yes.
How?
You just don't know it. What do they think?
No, but I mean, has it impacted you?
Not yet, but there's just now this other thing just came out.
What about the Apple situation? They get all kind of class lawsuits because these fucking... I got woke up today by a noise. I downloaded this app. It's like an Angry Birds app. I'm trying to look for another Angry Bird.
Yeah,
we all are.
Who is it? Goddamn crack.
Right.
And so I wake up too early. It was like 5:30. I had my shit set for 6. It went, and I'm looking. It's the phone saying, "Hey, don't forget to play this game today."
Oh, shit.
No shit.
Your phone's waking you up to play a game.
Say, don't forget to play. But that they're getting this lawsuit because people are being Apple was using these apps to fuck people over to get information. I get emails from motherfuckers. Some of them you can't, like Continental, you can't unsubscribe to their emails. There's no way to stop their emails.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I want to stop this. But they get it. And I don't remember marking anything down to say, send me an email. Mm-hmm. I'm getting emails from people I don't want to get emails from.
I always mark down no. Like if I ever have a website and it says, do you want updates to this or us to say that? I always fucking uncheck it and go, no.
But I think
and then you get them anyway.
Yeah, because as soon as you check no, I think that's the cue right there to
By
send
the way,
you something.
There's a news story. It was just in the news a couple of days ago. You might be able to find it. The police are using a device to track cell phones even when you're not using them. You just got them in your pocket, and they're using it and saying, and now they're bringing up the constitutionality of some of this stuff. And what their argument is, look, it's almost like you've given up any right. It's public domain, these signals that are going through the air that we can then grab onto, because the constitutional rights and the people that keep tabs on this shit have not updated their shit for technology yet. So it's almost like you're giving up your right to certain privacies just because it's out there. When you carry your phone around, even off, like my phone right now is throwing out a fucking signal.
You'd have to have it totally powered off.
Powered off, exactly.
Then it wouldn't, right.
Then it wouldn't. But if it's on and in your pocket, they could track where you are. And in some cases, when you're using your phone, they can listen to what you're fucking talking about.
We're eventually going to be eventually, whether we like it or not, we're going to lose individuality. We
have to a certain extent.
But I mean, we're going to for real lose it. And we're going to all be on the same, once we're all uploaded into computers like Kurzweil was talking about.
Borg.
We are literally all going to know each other's thoughts.
Yeah.
We're all going, like, for instance, if somebody texts, everything's on film already. I mean, in 20 years, nothing will happen that isn't filmed. Nothing, everything will be caught by Google Earth. If not 20, then 50 years.
You sound ridiculous.
But you know what I'm saying? It literally,
we're heading that way.
I know, just fucking around like Norton talking like that is
way more
unusual.
way more than 50 years, by the way.
However long it takes, but it's where we're all going to be. And it's it seems like it sucks, and I'm sure it does, but it is a weird part of advancement. We are all on a planetary level going to be on the same thought process and work as a planetary level and then move further. I'm not saying it's great for individuality, but eventually we're going to lose individuality.
Well, look
it's going to be seen as a primitive quality.
Your girl Napolitano's a motherfucker. right? What she represents. I know it's not her. She's just the figurehead.
Right,
but
right.
She's just doing the agenda. But see, when they killed bin Laden, they just killed Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, they don't talk about Al-Qaeda no more.
No.
They said, look, it's like killing Hitler, you killed the Nazis, right?
Right.
So it's like, done. Moving on to the next thing. And here's where race gets fucked up. Here's where our white people and black people being anti each other
Yeah.
is not good because the new terrorists in America now, they're moving on. It's the crackers in the hills. It's those guys who really are fighting for the Constitution. They're fighting for freedom. They're fighting no taxes. They're fighting for everything that the Constitution stands for.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have been raised as a black guy to believe that those crackers in the hills have targets on my face and it's really they're trying to kill me, when they start coming down on them really so they can take their guns, take their rights, take their freedom, I go, yeah, go get them. Go get those fucking crackers. But really, those are the motherfucking freedom fighters.
Yeah,
but that's where they're moving to. That's the new agenda. The fucking Timothy McVeigh guys, that's what they're doing. Is those guys are going to be blowing up buildings and this and that. But really, half of those fucking people are living just in a shitty way.
Yeah.
No electricity, no nothing.
Backwoods.
In the backwoods.
Yeah.
Because somebody said something recently that I never thought of. You buy a house, if you pay for it, you still pay taxes.
Yeah.
That's rent.
That's
not your land.
Yeah, go ahead and don't pay
the fucking government rent.
You paid off your house. Go ahead, don't pay your taxes. See what happens. You then don't own your house.
You don't own
they
your
will
house.
take your fucking house away.
You're paying
you bought
rent to
and
the fucking
paid for
government.
it. You're renting from the government
That's
now.
supposed to be your land.
When you finish paying for your house, it doesn't matter. You now are a renter again. There it is. And you don't pay your rent, they throw you out and take your house.
Let me ask you, and believe me, I don't like the taxes at all. I understand what you're saying. But by renting on the land, don't you get certain benefits by being a part of the state? Like the benefits you get with are police protection, fire protection.
In theory.
I'm
in property taxes, sure.
You get a school system for your kids.
But you
get protection by the military. You get air protection by the military.
How about that's your federal income tax and things? And then how about the fact that maybe there's another way around it than taking your fucking house that you bought and paid for?
Yeah, I agree.
Not everybody is Ant. Ant gets that.
Yeah, it's just
but
makes
Ant's
no
neighbors
No.
get ostracized.
Yeah.
Ant is Don Corleone of his street.
Of my fucking street.
Ant's a nigga. He's the nigga of his street.
I've never denied that in my Jew neighborhood.
And fucking parties and pistols.
The Virgin Mary urinating in a statue in the front.
I actually have my next door neighbor. I guess she came out of the house and she was talking to my landscaper guys. I guess she's going to be using my landscapers because my lawn is so lush and green. So then she goes because she has an accent. I don't know. I think the guy married some Russian broad because she's like, you have a lot of parties over there at your house. I'm like, yeah, like, hey, if you see one over, just come on over. Well, she goes, oh, no, that's okay. I hear them from my window.
Yep. And I'm the one who called the cops.
Yeah,
and then they come
and that's all I'm thinking.
Take your clothes off and get in my pool, bitch.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
Take that, yoga.
Hey, we got a computer scientist on the line. It says this shit goes way further than you think.
Oh, here we go.
I want to see if this guy has anything. Eric in Jersey, what do you got, buddy?
Oh, how much do I have? Let's start with what seems to be your biggest. Let me walk out.
Your wife's making some noise.
Oh, shit.
Okay, let's start with email. You have your own website.
What? Wait, start over. We're still laughing at the dog joke that you obviously didn't hear. What?
Okay, you have PatriceO'Neill.com as a website.
Oh, shit.
You set up a catch-all account, and then when you go to these marketing sites, like you say Xerox at PatriceO'Neill.com, it goes to a dump bucket, which you can then, filter out. I'm not going to get eggy on you. But the point is, if you give your email to, say, Dr. Ted Scheckler, and then later on you get a Viagra ad that says Dr. Ted Scheckler at PatriceO'Neill.com, not only can you block it, you know who sold you out. So that's email.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
So wait, explain that again, because I know what you're saying is important, but we're not technical enough to understand exactly what you mean.
Hey, look at it this way. You probably, if Patrice O'Neill has a website, He might have 1 or 2 accounts.
Can you say Jim Norton next time? I don't like this Patrice O'Neill's website because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, right? Hey, wait a minute.
Jim Norton has a website.
Yeah, Jim Norton has a website.
Go ahead.
Eatabullet.com.
Sure.
You got 2 email accounts your webmaster set up. Jim at Eatabullet and info at Eatabullet for like your bookings and shit.
Okay.
Now, you call your web hoster and say, I want a catch-all email account. So if you send an email to Donald Duck at Eatabullet, it goes into this one just big garbage bucket of email. Okay?
Okay.
With me so far, right?
Yes.
Now, later on, you find out that you're getting a ton of spam to Donald Duck at Eatabullet.com. So you set up a 3rd account for Donald Duck at Eatabullet.com and just have it, fail the delivery so you never get it. And worse yet, you can bounce messages back like saying, hey, asshole, stop sending me spam. Anytime someone sends an email to Donald Duck at Eatabullet.com.
Well, doesn't that sound like a good thing?
Yeah, it's great.
He's teaching you how to stop spam.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know what it was. I thought he was
telling you some shenanigans that were going on, and then I'm listening going, wait, that sounds like a convenient thing.
Yeah, we would like that.
Okay.
It's what you want to do. So you go tomorrow, you're going to check into the Hilton. Hi, Mr. Norton, what's your email? Oh, it's Hilton at Eatabullet.com. Now, later on, when you start getting aluminum siding ads that are addressed to Hilton.
Okay, all right, okay. So you're saying... Oh, I get it. He's saying you can find out who's fucking
with you.
I don't give my email, by the way.
I don't give
in
my
stores, in fucking hotels, never.
No. And they always go to you, well, we don't know how to ring this up. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not buying
I don't have email. Get a manager. And believe me, they ring you up.
Yeah,
they never give it to them.
They get mad when you don't give your phone number or
your
an email address.
Yeah, you're not getting my number. I never give them that.
And they're like, we can't ring you up then. I'm like, get the fuck, you can still ring me up.
I never give it to them.
Pressure you.
Never give it to them. Say, I don't have a cell phone.
Right.
Or I don't have email.
Right.
And they have to ring you up.
And then they get mad. I'm like, fuck you.
Get your manager.
And I go, you're going to send me fucking mail.
No, we're not. You're not getting my email.
And I go, I got a tiny little New York City fucking mailbox, and I don't have room. And certainly, it turns out they always send you mail. Fucking liars.
And you know what you do to get them, to give them a little zing is you say, why don't you send it to nonsense email at eatabullet.com? How about that?
Nonsense email.
Or you should put a dirty email, shit cunt fuck at Gmail or whatever.
Right on.
I'm gonna open that one, shit cunt fuck or something like that, and give it. That's my email.
That's it. When you're at Best Buy, you just go, yeah, it's shit cunt fuck.
Yeah.
Say it real loud.
It's mind your
Loudly
beeswax
and
cunt
proudly.
at gmail.com.
But at this point, our credit cards are matching up our emails and all that, right?
I would.
So
yeah.
as soon as you give
And
out,
the phone company has
yeah,
it.
as soon as you give the credit card, they get all that info.
You
anyway.
think that's a coincidence that when you use your credit card to buy something, all of a sudden you get 20 emails about the same type of product you just bought?
It is a coincidence.
Wow, what a coincidence. Ooh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just bought a refrigerator. I want emails about more refrigerators.
More refrigerators. Well, how many do I need, motherfucker? What am I, Jeffrey Dahmer?
Do you know what?
I got plenty.
And who gives a fuck if you figure out who's giving you the spam there, Eric? You can't stop it.
Oh, sure you can, because then you do like Hilton at Eatabullet. You set up an account and then just have it fail. So anyone that uses that email, nobody will ever see it. Ever.
How do you have it fail?
You have the server. Your webmaster would know how to do it.
Okay.
But if
Webmaster.
goes to Hilton at Eatabullet and you're sick of getting refrigerator ads, say, okay, webmaster, set up an account for Hilton at Eatabullet.com, and any email that comes, just discard it. And in fact, you can bounce a message back going, hey, asshole, stop sending email to this.
Eric, someone's asking me if your email is this guy is boring at eatabullet.com.
It never fails, man. All the listeners.
Try and be relevant. I'm sorry if it's
Pakistan
Yeah, you're
Animation
helpful.
on Twitter. Very good. Give us one more, Eric.
Okay, now we're talking about Google. You were talking about all this stuff, and I really am into some egghead stuff here, and this isn't a joke. If you Google later on TED, T-E-D, Google filter bubbles, you'll get a 9-minute video, and part of it is boring, I'll admit it. But the bottom line is they go through a thing. One guy's a liberal who's always looking up Obama and this and that, and the other guy's a Republican who's only traveling, and they both type in Cairo. The traveler guy is only going to get plane fares in Expedia. The liberal guy is going to get all the stuff on the protest.
Wait, is that why every time I Google airlines, I get transcontinental flights?
Smith said, it's now impossible to do a Google search that isn't somehow tailored to you if it's on your computer because of all the cookies.
Yeah. So your
Cookies.
Google search will be different than my Google search, even if we put in the same fucking word.
Absolutely. If you do TED, filter bubbles, because I don't know, it's some egghead consortium, TED, but there's a good 9-minute speech, and, you know.
It's an egghead consortium.
Yes, I love consortiums. I certainly do. Food consortium. Food consortium.
No, it's
It's a
important.
marvelous place to buy roasts. I one time bought a dozen eggs at the food consortium. There were bubbles all over. Thank you, sir, for commenting. I sell eggs and bubbles. Ted's Food Consortium.
Consortium.
The eggs always break when I ship them. Therefore, I use more than one basket.
Yes, you don't want to put them all in
You
one.
certainly don't, Anthony.
No.
It's an excellent point.
Ted.
Good old Ted.
Yeah.
Ted's an ass.
Anything else, Eric?
Well, last thing.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. Why?
That was just kind of a...
It was like a goodbye.
That was like a take it easy.
That was
as a matter of fact, I do have more.
Not a real...
I was going with the polite goodbye, Eric.
That was a here's your hat. But no,
I should have just went with thank you, Eric.
And
There's a
stay
cab
out.
stand right out around the corner.
What, Eric?
one more about Ted's Consortium.
Go ahead, Eric. Eric?
He
Oh,
laughed.
no.
Where you got, Eric?
We chased him off.
Yes, we also sell tickets for consorts. If you want to go see a good consort, you can come to the consortium. Summerfest.
We go to Orange County. Andrew.
Hey, how are you? You know, I was all pissed off, and then Ted came on the line and got me laughing.
Why are you pissed off, Andrew? It's
Why?
Friday.
Andy.
Friday.
Oh, that's right.
What?
I know, but listen, I'm not happy with Patrice.
Why?
Patrice isn't happy about paying taxes. Why do you think we all pay taxes for police, fire? Have policemen ever been to my house? Have they ever been... No, where do the police guys go? To the black guys.
Shut up.
Oh, there it is.
And here's the thing. I'm not upset about taxes. I'm upset about federal tax. Not about state tax. State tax.
Why, you don't drop
Local
them?
taxes.
I'm going to tell you why, asshole. It's because federal tax is illegal. Federal tax is robbery. You pay state tax, and what happens is it's called amortization, where Rhode Island, you pay state tax in Rhode Island, they take what is not amortization, but the size of the state. Rhode Island takes what you pay to them, and then Rhode Island pays the government to come do shit.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to pay the government money. You're supposed to pay the state, but you know what? You're a guy who goes, do it, and you're the fucking guy that when the shit hits the fan and you're standing around naked, you're looking for help. But I'm telling you now you're getting fucked so that when 5 years comes from now, you're going to go, maybe I should apologize to Patrice. But your whiteness won't let you do that. I'm trying to tell you now that it's fucking illegal. Federal income tax. It's criminal. It's slavery. And you pay it. And you fucking pay it. And I pay it too because I don't want to lose my fucking house.
Exactly.
But it's illegal. You take it in the ass.
Extortion.
Don't be mad at me. I'm just saying you take it in the ass.
Patrice, break down your property tax. I don't see a big part of that going to federal.
Because federal takes it separately.
Because they take it now directly.
Out of my paycheck.
Out of your paycheck. It's illegal.
No, that's what he's saying. Look.
Pay your property tax, the federal government.
Hold on, you dummy. What he's saying is the way it was supposed to work was we pay our state taxes, which include a state tax, your local tax, property tax, things like that. They're supposed to take care of all the business and then kick some money up to the federal government to make sure the big highway that comes through that's federally funded gets paid for. So each state kicks a little more money up to the big boss. It's like fucking, the mobsters. The federal government's the fucking Don, and all the states are the soldiers, and we're the fucking, earners.
The capo regimes.
We don't give the money directly to the fucking boss.
No, he whispers to Paulie,
Right.
who does this while I do that. I can't remember the line.
All I'm saying is there's buffers, a lot of buffers.
And again, I'm not fucking saying I stand up to the government. They'll come.
No, of course.
And I'll be butt naked
You're
in the street.
powerless to do
but
anything.
I'm saying that's how we're living.
Yeah.
We're living a crime.
Yes.
And it's like, don't argue with me, motherfucker, because I got a big mouth.
Yes.
But I'm saying it's robbery. State tax is fine with me. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But state tax
Yeah,
are.
it's like you're playing pop like Bruce Springsteen or something.
Oh, you asshole. You asshole.
I heard him gearing up
What
for
a
a chip.
douchebag. All right. Thank you, sir.
I wish you did that on Twitter.
Yeah, right?
I heard him gearing up for a chip.
Could have just fucking block a room.
I fucking love
it's
chip
absolute.
tweets.
There are things that the government does where you just sit there and go like, yeah, it's wrong. Everyone knows it's wrong. But there's nothing you can do about it, or else you will lose your shit and go to jail. There you go.
We're on our way to time travel. We're going to be okay.
I hope so.
We're on our way to
How
time
would
travel.
we stop that if we wanted to?
There's got to be a bloody revolution. There has to be a. There's not going to be a.
On a massive scale.
You don't think
not these dumb Wall Street
they're fucking
guys.
us enough right now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you think about this $12 raise, the math.
Yeah.
You figure I'm staying home Friday and Saturday. I'm not gonna go in no more. So you figure it's $12. So it's another $4. That's $20 a week. How much is $20 a week on a 5-day scale a year? That $20, man. Like
$2,000 a
I
year.
don't make square money. But I can't imagine that a square person on a fixed income
Yeah.
can afford that.
I vividly
How do
remember
they
making.
fucking-
And no one gives a
I
fuck.
vividly remember
How do
making
they
shit money
survive?
working for a living,
Right.
and that was a lot of money. I remember going to the ATM and fucking taking $20 out and being like, oh, looking at my balance, like, oh, I just took 20 out.
I gotta make this last.
I vividly remember that.
Patrice is
So
talking about the
$20 is a
$12
lot of fucking money
to cross
So
over into Manhattan.
Yes.
8 times 5.
It just went up $4 for the cash guys, like we said.
8 times 5 is 40.
40.
So you only had to take $40 a week out for your tolls if you did that. Now you have to take $100 out.
Yeah.
Because there's no $12 thing that the ATM's kicking out. So you got to take you have to take $60 more out of your ATM and hopefully, like, save it
Yeah.
to pay your tolls and save it to pay whatever else. It's an extra $100, really. You're spending $100 because what are you going to do?
But if you
with
have Easy Pass,
$52?
$1.50 a time. So get Easy Pass. Anyone without Easy
I don't
Pass should be
believe-
forced to swim.
I don't
But
believe-
even-
I don't believe this.
But even the Easy Pass fee is
It's
ridiculous
disgusting.
at this point.
It's disgusting.
Just to cross into Manhattan in a tunnel,
It's
that's
terrible.
ridiculous. And there's nothing we can do about that. Nothing.
And the money was supposed to go to, just the roads and the bridges. And then they made it where it's like, well, we'll take your toll money. And then we could shove it off to here, some fucking project for some crony guy that this guy did a favor for 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even, it's not even going to fill in the potholes and painting the fucking lines on
Where
the
does it
street.
end, though,
So
man?
what would be, not that I'm trying to do one.
Advocate anything.
What you think will happen that makes the people
Yeah.
say, "Oh shit," and everybody at
There
the same
has to
time,
be-
Americans
right.
all come together and go,
The water's
nah,
boiling.
nah.
You know,
It's
let
boiling
me
right
let me
now,
tell you
man.
what. The majority of the
Starting to
people
boil.
in this country can go home. They turn on their fucking TV. It comes on. They get cable. They turn on their water. The water runs. They can
Yeah,
take
for
a shower.
$200 a month we
No,
get
I-
cable.
I understand.
that
I'm not
goes
talking
with
about it.
Patrice's point.
But
It's getting
it-
ridiculous.
Exactly. But it comes on. We need a point, I think, where the government fucks up so badly that shit starts failing. Power companies literally start not being able to pump the power out anymore because the money isn't there to pay the guys that rewind the generators in copper coils, or the copper's too expensive to buy. And it just has to get to the point where the system starts breaking down to where you turn your shit on and all of a sudden go, hey, my shit ain't coming on. Time to grab the guns.
That would be a revolution. But
Yes.
the technology,
Well, that's what I'm talking
but
about.
the technology is not just hurting. Like the fact that we can be caught with technology or it's burning us.
I don't just mean technology. I was using that, but I mean everything.
I'm saying
your
it's,
roads,
but it's
your-
burning people who are higher up. It's burning people who are fucking higher up the ladder. Wiener is
Yeah.
a fucking congressman and he lost a gig because of fucking technology. It's not just burning the lower class people. Everybody is dealing with it the same way. Everybody's
That's why
paying
I'm
the
talking
same price
about
for
the
it.
second it affects everybody.
Anarchy is different than revolution.
Yeah.
That would be anarchy, which would make the army come in and just shoot everybody.
Well, that's also revolution. You need the support of the army. So, and anarchy, I don't know. Anarchy
just
takes a
people
lot.
on the streets
I think it's too
running
much shit.
around
Yeah,
fucking
that's
being
crazy.
mad is crazy.
You would need some other person that wouldn't be electable yet would make a good leader that the people and army would be behind. That's the only way a revolution ever fucking works. And then when the government that was in place goes to call on the army to quell the revolution, the army says, "Fuck you," turns their tanks around, starts shooting at them, and before you know it, you got a complete new government. Now, for that to happen in this country, you got to go home in the freezing cold, no water, no TV, no food, no nothing. And then maybe people in this country, these lazy fucking sheep, might actually get up off their ass and go, maybe we should do something. I think we're being fucked.
It's happening down on Wall Street, Ann. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Wow,
forget.
that fucking Wall Street thing.
I know that's a big one for you.
Oh, boy.
They're taking over Wall
bunch
Street.
of little faggots. Shut up.
So it's begun. They're taking over Wall Street on weekends when no one's down there.
But they are in a way, though.
At night when it's closed.
Even though they are just a bunch of little jizz bags, they are in a way fighting people who are stealing or saying
They're not.
something about people who are fucking
They
stealing
know,
from all of us.
First of all, they don't even know.
Can you explain what this is
they're
about
down
for
there
the people
for.
that don't know?
No, because they don't even know.
They don't know?
They're doing this thing where
What is it called?
A bunch of stink bags go to Wall Street every night and hang out with all of their fucking camera phones out, waiting for the NYPD to hit them. That's their top priority, by the way. Fuck Wall Street. They don't even know how Wall Street works. This fucking walk on Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street, whatever hashtag
Occupy
they
Wall
want to
Street,
use.
I think it is. Yeah.
They don't even know what they're doing down there. They have no idea. They saw what happened in Egypt and Syria and all these Middle Eastern countries with change in the government, and they're like, yeah, we could do it too. Where's the blood on your hands? Where's your fucking, where's your buddy Brad's brain splattered all over the side of your fucking head as you pick up a rock and throw it at a tank? You're a bunch of pussies. It's the American way of doing it, which is get your phones out, hope some poor NYPD sap gets pissed enough to smack you so you can end his career and fucking make a YouTube video. They're a bunch of faggots. They're not real. They're phony wannabe protesters. Get some blood on your hands and you might get a little respect from me. You're a bunch of pussies.
We're all going to be part of the same mentality, whether we like it or not. That's where this is going. It's where it's
gone before that.
No, but it's where it's
defeated, though, man.
No, it's not.
That sounds like
It's
you
not.
It is defeated.
It's not because
I'm too smart for people to be like
it's
me.
It's not, though. Literally, individuality and this whole thing about we have to fight them. It really is. We're coming out of being apes. It's the way we think.
Yeah.
We don't do anything. Can you picture fucking people that we think or beings that travel to this planet if they exist? Do you really think they're fucking fighting over property taxes on what planet they're on?
Wouldn't that be hysterical?
You go so
They
far
have
beyond
interstellar
that.
travel
I
and
think
they're
they
pissed.
are.
I think they probably
You
are.
think they are?
I
No.
think wherever
There's an
some guy
interstellar
in the-
travel tax? You motherfucker! I can't go.
I guarantee there is.
Because we are made up of the same
Shit in the
that
universe.
everybody's made up of. And
They're
just
just
because you
more
got a big
advanced.
head and black eyes and skinny weird arms, them motherfuckers is arguing
Deal with the
over,
same shit.
over cable.
Can you no?
They're
Because when you look
not-
from the days people bashed each other over the head and literally just fucking hid from a lion. If you would have told them you'll be quietly texting people and communicating silently,
They would
that would have seemed like that will never
they would
fucking
cave
happen.
your head in with a rock.
Exactly, and then eat your phone 'cause they don't know what it is.
Well,
But I think there's a human nature that will stop what you think.
Human nature can be overcome. It's all chemicals.
Almost like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, well,
it's
chemicals.
almost like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. He's like, the
chaos theory.
This is
Yeah.
amazing, but something's
gonna fuck up here.
It's not gonna happen. It's just nature is gonna do some shit.
Well,
it's going to do something to stop
Nature can absolutely be controlled. It can absolutely be fucking manipulated and have you. Once you're beyond a certain point, then nature is fairly powerless over you. Once you,
it always
absolutely
finds
think so.
It's like squeezing fucking clay in your hand. It's going to come out your fingers.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
It's all chemical reactions. It's all chemical.
No, but it changes. The chemistry changes. It's all chemistry. But maybe these two chemicals ain't mixed yet, and you don't know what's going to happen. When you fuck with nature and beings and even humanity or the animal world, plants, whatever the fuck you fuck with, something happens, adapts, evolves, and changes to shove it back in your fucking face or to work. One or the other, but it's going to change.
And that big lighter that we have in the sky that everybody's always trying to fucking control, it's the basis of our life.
Yeah.
And I just look at some people don't believe in God. The fact that the sun exists and we exist, that's God to me. And it's very godlike. It's very where you go, hey man, look, Irene could have destroyed whatever, or Katrina did. We can't control. Nature will do something to make us stop thinking that we're
all fucking mighty.
Nature will always be able to kill people, but even the sun eventually expanding, we're going to be able to leave this planet and just colonize other places.
You think?
Even absolutely.
You're just saying that based on what? How you feel?
No, on the fact that that's what the Kaku says and a lot of theoretical
That's where
physicists
technology's
say.
going.
And there's already look what we've come in
Jimmy on
200
that?
years.
Give me the principles on how we're going to travel.
Okay. From what I know, I'm not a scientist, obviously. We eventually
theories.
We eventually learn what wormholes are and how to travel through interstellar space and how to colonize things in space. And look at how far we've come in 200 years of industrial technology, or 250 years. Multiply that by 500 more years or 1,000 more years.
But what
where we're going to be
done,
technologically.
Though? We've sent something in space that just goes.
We know subatomic particles exist. We fucking from bashing each other over the head. We are now fucking fighting cancer. We understand all these things that we didn't understand a couple hundred years ago.
I'm waiting for the shit from The Fly.
A couple hundred years ago.
That's what we
no
need,
shit.
to zip us over somewhere.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Absolutely will happen.
It'll absolutely happen.
Absolutely.
We can't wrap our brains around it right now, but it's going to happen.
Of course we will.
Of course we will.
It's just
I'm
a
with
matter
Jimmy
of
on that.
fucking passing the speed of light. All
I
that
can see us
stuff.
colonizing Mars, somewhere
I think
close.
we'll be just like the dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs
there you
fucking
go.
watch television.
And they lived a lot longer than we did.
Stephen Hawking theorized black holes. He knew what they were. They thought he was crazy. He's a fucking idiot. And now they find evidence of black holes. It's like they can kind of see this stuff a little bit down the road. This is 200 years in. We're fucking 250, 300 years into technology.
So another 200 years is what you think?
It multiplies faster and faster and faster and faster.
I don't think we're going to have jets in cars. To be
No,
honest.
I don't either.
I don't think we're going to have jets in
People aren't
cars.
responsible enough.
Look at computers. That they say now that on your phone, basically we have computers that we carry that are more powerful than what NASA used to send the fucking astronauts to the moon.
True that.
That's 30 years.
More on the toaster.
That's 30 fucking years.
So what do you think we're going to do? Other than, technology, I think has really what technology has given us is basically communication.
Right.
It's not, now, I don't think it's really upped our ability space-wise. I don't think the shuttle is any more amazing than the fucking Apollo 18.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've really developed off this planet. I think we developed on it. I think we've learned how to genetically modify shit and experiment on rats and do certain things and go, and medicines and everything else. But I don't think that we are going to do anything that's going to break.
We have a hard time leaving the planet.
We've only been to the moon, supposedly.
A couple of times,
once.
You're not a supposed guy, are you?
More than once. You've been there like 10 times.
I never was until I started thinking, why haven't we been there again?
We went there 6 times.
It seems like it would be easier.
Here's how you travel. I'll answer your question.
Would be easier now.
You talk about these printers they have that can now print genetic material. So eventually, once we learn how to navigate wormholes and all that stuff, and now they're saying they can send neutrinos fucking faster than the speed of light, you start sending. Once they break down your DNA, and a computer can actually take you apart and put you together DNA-wise and print you out on a fucking printer, and once your entire mentality, like Kurzweil talks about, is on a computer, which is going to happen because it's all just chemical shit.
And they print your soul too.
The soul is a religious theory.
No. They print out what makes you
right. It's all chemicals. It's all particles. It's all subatomic particles. All of it. And the personality, things we define as personalities, are all chemically explainable somehow. We can't explain it yet, but once they figure that out, 500 years from now, you'll be uploaded on a computer. And I believe Craig Baldwin
That's
said
very
that.
unspiritual of you.
Of course it is, but it's the truth.
Imagine that
I don't
they
know if
could
it's
print
the
out
truth.
who you are.
It is weird.
Sure they can.
I can't figure. I understand the whole chemistry behind humanity. Believe me, but there is that fucking spark that makes you you.
But what is that spark?
I don't know. That's just it. It might just be like you say, a bunch
Just
of fucking
DNA,
little
yeah.
glands going squish.
Of course it is.
Squish. Do a little
Squish,
more.
squish,
We put a little
squish.
more of this. It's like a cake, you know. You give everyone the same ingredients. They put a little more in this one. It's going to taste a little different.
They'll figure that out eventually.
but-
Sure, exactly.
I
I don't
totally
know.
believe that.
I there's got to be something that is completely inexplicable at this point that makes you
Sure.
you and me me.
Absolutely. There's
Oh, yeah.
subatomic things that go on that we can't explain, but I hate to break, but it literally,
But you think everything
everything
that
can
could be
duplicated.
reproduced
Of course.
would spit out an exact Jimmy
An
Norton.
exact Jimmy Norton. Emotions can be replicated. Emotions can be created. Look, a big boom happens. Every single living creature goes, "Ah!" We all look. We're not that different. We're all from the same. It's the same chemical thing that happens to fucking everybody.
Not Clooney in an action movie.
Well, that's different.
That shit
though.
blows up.
He
That
goes
shit blows up
beyond.
behind him, and he still just keeps walking toward the car.
Can I ask
Beautiful.
Anthony something? There's a couple things in there. Why aren't we on the moon just hanging out at this point?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Because that's the thing.
But why aren't we?
Where I did the quote unquote thing. I'm not a big.
You don't
the
think we
moon
landed on the
landing
moon?
was fake, but it's strange.
I know it.
that
But-
we're not hanging out
I
on
would,
the moon.
I would guarantee we went there, but we went. The space program went in a whole nother direction. The funding stopped.
Right.
We were going for a more low orbital launching platform for Mars missions. That's what the whole space station's up there for. Changed our whole mission. So the moon, we've been there, looked at some rocks. They're still studying shit that we brought back.
There's nothing to get from the
What
moon.
is with Mars?
People are fascinated with
It's the
it.
near planet.
I'm thinking we can make a what I like to call a shake and bake planet out
It's
of
just
it.
because it's the next step.
We've never been
You
to
know, the
another
company,
planet.
we
Yeah.
manufacture those.
But why don't we have a moon
Aliens.
station in?
What?
It just
we
isn't
don't need one.
profitable?
Why would we need a moon station?
All right, it would
but
be
they're
just
thinking
cool.
about. They are thinking about it as a launching base for a Mars mission.
Right.
But there's no reason to have people living on the moon. We have a space station.
But that would just be so cool.
Yeah, but they don't do things
And we
because
can-
it's cool.
and we can monetize that
They
shit.
don't do stuff
It
because
seems
it's cool.
like
If you
that-
could go to the moon and hang out for, a weekend,
what, as tourism?
It seems
But
like
I'm
that.
just saying,
Get your ass
why
to
not?
Mars.
It
Get
seems
your ass to
like
Mars.
that aluminum foil thing
Yeah.
would have had trouble getting off the moon. It
Yeah.
seems like we could have took the shuttle and just
went to the moon.
and just went there.
Yeah, the
and
shuttle
landed
wasn't made for that shit.
And the shuttle, and that's been our only elevation is the shuttle.
All the
since
shuttle is made for
1970
is to make a truck to take shit up to the space station, deliver it, and come back. That is it, to make that fucking space station. And that was the whole mission. And now that the space station's built, now they want to take materials up. They want to start building a platform to launch stuff to Mars. And then when you get enough equipment
For
on
what?
Mars, put people there on Mars.
so their eyes can get big when there's no air.
Three titted fucking chicks and hot little midgets.
For what?
For what? Because deep down, we know that sun is not going to be there forever, so we're just trying to figure it out.
Well, it'll be there.
Just life in general is trying to figure it out.
It
So
will be
deep
there
down,
forever.
I think if you look at some type of
not
Oh, well, as far as we're concerned.
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's a way, and they did touch on this in movies, you know, like Total Recall and Aliens.
Sunshine.
The making a planet inhabitable from something that is just uninhabitable.
They say they found a big Earth too. They call it like
Super Earth or
Super
whatever.
Earth or somewhere.
Super Earth.
And they're
yeah,
paying- they're
but
paying
they need
cable.
something close. See, we need something close at this point. If there's a way to go to Mars and set up a base on Mars that can be colonized and turn the carbon dioxide atmosphere into an oxygen atmosphere using, you know, plants breathing carbon dioxide.
Fuck
so
that.
you put
Go to
some
dome.
plants there
Let's
and they
go to
spit out
dome.
oxygen. So, you know, you start slowly in a dome.
And you know, but
let's
you
just
know
go
how
dome.
that'll take
A
you ever
long
see those
fucking time.
Those Discovery Channel things about how plants became
I know.
over zillions and
But
billions of years.
a long fucking time.
But if
You're
we
right.
can make them and do what they took millions of years to do through evolution, if we figure out how to do that on a computer, you can do it very quickly.
Dude, I think once we start,
we can grow hands now. We can grow skin. How long did it take you to grow your adult hand? Now the way they can do it on a fucking printer, they can do it almost immediately.
Wish the boss was here. Do a nice hand joke.
5 minutes. How long did it take you to grow that reptilian thing?
I just think the closer we think we get to God, the closer we get to death. Because it's just like, I think that we are, because we think we're the shit, because we think. Because we have an idea of what's good and bad or what's right and wrong. But it's like, you know, like you go into the animal thing, lions ain't thinking about that. They living with us, and lions are just going, hey, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. And like when I watch, you know, those specials and I see a lion kill a baby something, and you go, that piece of shit lion, I want to just shoot him. He's not, there's no consequence.
He's not thinking that shit.
We think we're something, humans, because we think we think.
You don't think that big water buffalo looking at the baby one getting all ripped apart, he just gave birth to it, is sitting there going, oh, man.
It's sad.
It looks all sad. Doesn't it look sad? It's like, oh, man.
It's
the lion.
motherly, but the lion is not killing it based on something personal or sport or anything. We have emotions that make us think that we're elevated some sort of way. But I think that we are just like dinosaurs. At some point, something's going to happen, and then Thundar the Barbarian motherfuckers are going to be riding around, and then fucking we're going to be the time-traveling people that live under the ground, and then it's going to be another 4 billion years, it'll be nothing here, then another 5 billion, it'll be something here, then the sun goes out. But it'll be something here that can live
when the sun is not
goes
there.
out.
Right.
We are living at God's time. If you don't believe in God, I'm saying God, but I mean nature, man. We're here.
Whatever your definition of God is.
I like the idea of what you said with the sun, and you know what? You can't even look at the sun.
You
with the naked eye. If that isn't a fucking spiritual thing, it gives you life. It gives everything on this planet life. But
don't look
you
at
can't
it.
even look at it.
Put on sunglasses. Look right at the fucking thing. Fuck it. Fuck that big ball of dumb gas. Fuck it, its ass. It's going to eat the earth in 4 billion years or whatever, and then we're gone.
I love Jimmy's take.
The sun's a big hunk of shit, and it's an average star. The sun is the 5-inch dicks of stars.
You think there's shit living on these planets?
God.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it may not
Just something that we don't give a fuck about.
It's the principles of life. It's
Right.
just there's other life.
We got to get Kevin Smith on the line. He's been on hold for way too long, 20 minutes. Hey, Kevin, if you're smoking pot this morning, this has to sound good.
All the mornings that I would be sitting here blazed, listening, going, "Oh, this is amazing." I can't. I got to drive someplace. So,
oh shit!
I'm sitting here for 20 minutes, staring at my weed, going, just like smoke it, smoke it, and join the conversation. Right?
Join in.
Talk about the shake and bake environment.
Shake and bake. We call it a shake and bake cup.
We do call this pot talk, man. We get into pot talk shit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dropped the Paul Reiser voice before.
Yeah, the Paul Reiser voice. You know, we manufacture these. I love that. Him in fucking. I think that's one of his best roles ever. Is him in Aliens.
It's when he gets it in the elevator.
Yeah.
It's justified. Nobody feels bad.
Not a person feels bad for him in that one. When he comes over with the lieutenant, he's like, "Come on, kiddo, you got to get back on that horse." Kiddo, he calls her kiddo. He's like, "Spare me."
He's wonderful, but that movie belongs to Newt.
Yeah, Newt is the best. Yeah, mostly.
They mostly come out at night. Nobody calls me Rebecca except my brother.
You know, the dead kid. Nobody calls me.
Brilliant radio this morning, gentlemen. For the last 20 minutes I heard, I was imagining myself sitting in a car somewhere driving to work, and I was like, that's radio.
That's cool, man.
Kevin,
yeah,
to summarize, where are you at with all that we just talked about?
My feeling on all of it is that you guys are, again, not stoned enough to jump into the deeper pool. But and while I think it's important to be vigilant, it's awfully depressing this early in the morning. So may I interject another point of view?
Yeah.
Perhaps simplistic, but it's how I get through a confusing, savage, and indifferent world. If we're still simply fighting over property taxes, sending texts of our cocks or watching the Kardashians, everything's fine.
Then everything's still
means
cool.
We're not trying to figure out like which one of our friends to eat to stay alive.
You know, that,
I like how simple you just.
yeah,
made it.
that's a pretty good point.
Bravo, sir.
But other people call those distractions. You know?
I agree,
and
I
it can go from
the
one day.
unexamined life is not worth living, and I think you guys examined it right to the point of human inexistence. But thank God, even though we'll be replaced by things billions and billions of years as they follow, we're going to be imprinted. That was the one thing I heard in all of that.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. Like, if to be able to live on, to have yourself DNA encoded, and if personality is, like Jimmy says, simply just chemical, to be able to be imprinted and live beyond the body, that's what I've been trying to do on Twitter for the last 4 years. I'm just literally imprinting myself on Twitter so it'll live beyond me.
Yeah, that shit's going to be there for quite a while. People will be able to look back and say, wow, that was Kevin Smith.
But no,
here's his personality.
No one's going to read our
better
shit.
than that is, this is Kevin Smith.
Yeah, still there. Kevin, watched Red State again. Because I was talking about it does have a rewatchability factor there, and I was watching it with my chick, and again, just what great performances by all these people.
Hands down, it's acting porn, man. If you like watching people act and act well,
it's great, and
Red State is so for you.
Just those friggin' surprise moments that just make you go, wait a minute, that can't happen.
As a gun person, did you feel like the guns really played? Like, since there's no score in the movie,
yeah,
those guns just live out there, really like big and loud. So much so that like if I put score in that movie, people would be like, "Oh man," they would never notice the length of that gunfight scene. Without music, people always go, "It's a really long gunfight."
It's a fantastic gun battle because first of all, there's many different types of weapons, and it's not like the old movies where they all sound the same. They got that different sound to them. And to see, like, a crazy old woman firing off a fucking AK-47, it's hilarious. And that little chit-chat that she's having with the preacher there on either side of the window, as rounds are just flying through, and broken glass and little pieces of wall, and they're not even acknowledging them. They're just conversing with each other.
Right.
That's a great scene. I was watching that again. Like I said, the rewatchability is amazing, and because then I'm able to kind of pick up more detail. And that moment is fantastic. Not even acknowledging that there are hundreds of rounds flying in at them, and they're just having this pleasant little smiling conversation.
Well, that's conviction, isn't it? Like at the end of the day, even though they're in the midst of having a gun battle with the ATF, they have the conviction of knowing that once they die, and particularly that's what the conversation is about, because she's like, I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Right, yeah.
Once they're dead, that's it. They're simply going to a better place. And, look, I believe in conviction, just not taking it that far.
Well, that is pretty far, I must say.
Nobody knows it's on the other side.
Yeah.
It's kind of just... that's the idea of faith. Like, there is no true root for the belief, but they base it on faith alone. And I get that. I was raised Catholic, and I still believe in God and whatnot. But since nobody has ever gone over to the other side, come back, and explained what it is, I'd always be suspect of anybody who says, when you die, and it's followed by some promise of something better than here. That is the original huckster, man. That is the original big con.
That's the carny.
It's so easy to tell somebody, I know what happens after, and what happens after is ice cream and fucking blowjobs for eternity. It's a way to control here in this world, where it's just like, look, if you follow these simple rules, 10 of them, next life, you get to do whatever you want. You put your dick in anything you want. If you're a dude, if you're a chick, they give you a dick and they let you put your dick in anything.
Hey, to Ant's point, who did the sound for the movie? Because the sound was ridiculously good, Kevin.
Oh my God, you put me on the spot. The dude is amazing. I've got him. I'm failing at figuring out his name because this is the first thing I ever worked with him on. And on Red State, this was one of the first projects where I literally let everybody do their jobs. I used to be a guy that was up in every department, like up in everybody else's grill, trying to work every department. And on Red State, I was much more laid back, much more like, how would you do it? You know, most people,
right.
That's your job as a director. They just come to you and ask questions. So when people would come to me on this flick and, you know, it'd be like, well, what do you want? I'd be like, hey, man, how would you do it? Because when you put it back on them, suddenly they're representing their department, or it's like, oh, my idea is going to be represented in this movie. I get to make a little piece of the movie or something like that. Boom, they bring their A game.
Yeah, the guy knew what he was doing.
It's such a big bad way. And I sat down with him after the first pass, and I said, look, man, I'm certainly not going to tell you how to do your job, but there's no score in this movie. So right now, you are the scorer. So this is like, you know, a mixer's dream. You can go nuts, like crazy nuts. You know, he figured out ways to, like, just rhythmically kind of throw boilers under one another, like when the boys are being chased through the underground by Ralph Garman with the gun Caleb. There's this kind of which kind of like you go, well, that's score, but it's not. It's literally just the noise of like the boiler down there.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of a machine. And the guns have always been like, they could take you out of a movie if they don't sound right. And I think the first movie that really fucking made guns sound great was Die Hard.
Yeah.
Like everything before that, if you watch Scarface, especially the original, I think they might have tried to fix it, but every gun, no matter what they shot, sounded like the old pew, pew, pew. Just crap.
Recording.
And Die Hard, the first time I saw it, when they fired off those guns and it was all bottom end, like it fucking shook the theater when you saw it. That is some shit.
I wonder if it's either going to be Joel Silver or John McTiernan kind of responsible for that. Like, of course, there was a sound mixer and a guy that went off and and recorded the sound.
Yeah.
Somebody has to pull the trigger and go like, I hate these gun sounds. They sound ridiculous. Can we get better guns?
Yeah.
And it had to be one of those two guys. And at that point, things changed, because up until then, sound wasn't like a marketing tool, really.
No.
You know, it's like you don't sell a movie going like, come out and see it because it sounds awesome. But that was part of Die Hard's whole campaign. Like, it'll blow you out the back of the theater.
Yeah,
it did.
Part of it. And when you stand apart, just even a little bit, and as Dopey is like, hey man, our guns sound better than their guns, people are going to notice. And back then, particularly, everybody knows. Then everybody just adapts, and it becomes the standard.
Yeah, I see it. Love that when he shot that. That big bazooka thing right before he shoots it when the truck is coming into the building in Die Hard.
Oh my God, dude! I was last night. I went to Jimmy Kimmel does this kind of San Gennaro feast out here.
Yeah,
a miniature version of it. So we went. It was the opening night, and Agent Johnson from Die Hard.
Oh, which one?
Robert Davi.
Oh,
he's given up. Like, I guess he doesn't act as much anymore. He is a singer. So he was singing. I was looking up. All of a sudden, I heard Frank Sinatra singing. I was like, that's crazy. Like a dead ringer. Frank Sinatra. So much so you thought they were just playing music. And you look up on stage, and it's Robert Davi. It's Agent Johnson.
Yeah. Agent Johnson, not related.
Yes.
Actually, we actually have to go.
All right, no worries. I got to go, too. Can I plug what I got to plug?
Yes, sure, absolutely. Go ahead, man.
Red State is happening this Sunday in a bunch of theaters where they show the movie and then we stream a Q&A into it. I'm doing it out here in Los Angeles at the New Beverly Theater. We show the movie, and then afterwards we do a Q&A where it's the audience in that audience, the audience in the one in the New Beverly, and then also we're taking questions from the audiences who attend around the country who are watching it streamed into their theaters. In New York, it's at the Lincoln Center, Film Society Lincoln Center, at the IFC Center, and in Brooklyn it's at Indie Screen, but it's all over the country. There's about 50 screens, I think. If you go to coopersdell.com, COOPERSDELL.com, it's just this Sunday, man. It's going to be kind of fun. So you can watch the movie in a theater with killer sound, hear them bullets, and then right after the movie, they stream a Q&A in. So you sit there and watch Q&A like you're in the room with me.
Cole, you're taking the future, man. I love it.
The future.
Kevin, thanks so much, man, and everybody, please go see it, man.
See you soon, buddy.
Thanks.
All right.
Later.
We got
Kevin
Kaku.
will be in soon. Yeah, we got Dr. Kaku
Yeah,
on the
Dr.
line.
Kaku is on the line.
Sorry to make you wait there, sir. You're a very busy guy today with this info that came out overnight, huh?
Yeah, very busy. I was just on Good Morning America this morning.
Yeah.
And,
You braggart.
Hey,
that's
talking
good.
about satellites falling from the sky.
Yes.
Even Einstein's theory might be wrong.
Oh, we forgot about the satellite. Where is that going to fall about?
Well,
what area of the world?
It is that it's going to fall between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, probably in the Pacific or probably near Chile. But
it's cold, right?
I hope they don't take out the Eddie Vedder guy.
No.
Hi,
yes.
Hi, Dr. Kaku. It's Jim Norton.
Right, hi.
And I wanted to say, did you... I had long ago theorized, and I remember saying that the neutrinos would probably travel faster than the speed of light. Are you surprised to hear that? Do you think there's a flaw in their math?
Well, I think there's a flaw in their experiment. However, they say that they've checked it over and over again, that neutrinos fired from Switzerland to Italy, 450 miles away, arrived 60 billionths of a second faster than expected.
Well, maybe it was just windy or something.
No, I don't think so.
No?
This result has to be looked at very carefully because Einstein's theory is the bedrock, the foundation of all of modern science. This phone call, GPS, atomic bombs, lasers, black holes, expanding universes, all of it depends on Einstein's theory. So if Einstein is wrong, oh my God.
But isn't it possible that he got that maybe he just scratched the surface and maybe there's 300 more layers that he missed just because there's no way we could know it without computer help?
Well, we think there is a layer below Einstein's theory. However, that layer is very exotic. That layer opens up only at the instant of the Big Bang and the center of a black hole. However, in Italy, we don't expect to see violations of Einstein's theory with the neutrino beam, and that's why a lot of physicists are having a heart attack right now, contemplating the fact that every single physics textbook, every single experiment has to be revised if this experiment holds up.
Wow.
Well, maybe, because I used to joke about, I bowl like a bunch of neutrinos. Everybody would laugh.
I don't think they would. I don't think they'd laugh. Now, why would this... how would this change anything, to tell you the truth? Life still goes on. We still we still wake up in the morning. I mean...
Thank you.
And what's a split second, really?
I'm still finished in 30 seconds.
Look at the internet. Look at communication satellites. All of it depends on electronics, which in turn depends on relativity theory.
Sure.
So if relativity is totally wrong, this phone conversation is going to go poof.
Wait.
Einstein was a hack, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah.
No, but wouldn't that...
It was all puffy.
Just the fact that our GPS does work and all this does, in fact, work, doesn't that say that nothing will change because it would have changed?
That's why I suspect that they made a mistake.
Ah, see?
Yeah, years ago, in the 1960s, there was even more sensational news that the speed of light rose in daytime and fell at nighttime, according to one physics experiment. So people said that's a hard thing to believe, that the speed of light could rise and fall with the day. Then it turns out that the experimental apparatus was outdoors and was sensitive to temperature of outdoors, and that's why they were getting the speed of light varying between morning and night.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Dr. Kaku, this is Jim Norton. Mm-hmm. Doesn't it strike you as odd, though, that as much as we learned that Einstein would have pegged the main theory this kind of soon after industrial technology began, doesn't it seem kind of odd that he would have gotten it right this early in the game for us as a species who's possibly going to travel in space someday or live in space?
That's true. It would seem like the odds would be...
Looking at it historically, we realize that Einstein was ahead of his time. His special theory of relativity beat out his competitors, but the general theory, I think, was maybe 50 years ahead of its time. Even today, we're shocked at how advanced it is, given the fact that it was proposed in 1915.
Probably because he was...
Is Isaac Newton and what's the other dude? Isaac Newton in
Bill Tetley?
Bill Tetley and Copernicus. Are they hacks in your profession at this point? Are they antiquated, or is Isaac Newton still a pretty cool dude?
If you're an Apple salesman.
Inside the solar system at low velocities, we still use Newton's laws of motion to shoot space satellites to Saturn and Jupiter. We don't use Einstein's theory because we go near the speed of light. However, lasers, GPS, the internet, all of that use things near the speed of light. And then Einstein's theory, not Newton's theory, is used in high-tech work. So all the high-tech wizardry that we see around us with iPods and iPads and internet and microwave towers, all of that comes from Einstein.
So here's a question, Dr. Kaku. Jim was saying something earlier that I disagree with. That they can recreate you. Like, do you think one day they'll be able to recreate who you are? I know you don't have a soul, but it's like, or not that you don't have a soul, but you don't believe in God, whatever. But they can actually create you, and you actually go, oh shit, I'm still here as me, as opposed to a clone that looks like you DNA wise, but doesn't have your same essence or whatever you would call it.
Well, this
Fear.
is actually a subject of debate among physicists, because teleportation, we've actually attained it at the atomic level. And one day, if we teleport Captain Kirk, then who is this imposter over there who claims to be Captain Kirk, who sells Priceline, and has all the personality quirks of Captain Kirk?
Well, is it possible, this is Jim Norton again, is it possible that if you learn... Now, Ray Kurzweil talks about, and I'm not saying he's the be-all, end-all, but loading ourselves eventually onto computers, and your personality and who you are will be on a computer. Is it possible that if that's how simple it is, and if everything is just a chemical reaction that is eventually figured out by computers, and there is no difference between the uploaded version of me, essence-wise, and the me that's talking to you right now, that you could technically live in two places at one time, just like, say, a 60 billionth of a second apart?
Yeah, and if we have quantum teleportation and we're able to create a copy of you atom for atom, then in principle there might be more than one copy of you, and it's within the laws of physics. I'm not saying that it's possible.
So if they clone you, they would it's theoretically there could be a clone of Dr. Kaku who is also a physicist.
Yeah, you can't rule it out. There's no law of physics preventing that, put it that way.
But who also thinks like you, too.
100 years from attaining that kind of capability.
100 years.
But what about an exact parallel thinking between the two? Because it's such an accurate representation of the other that whatever chemical reaction makes thought and your thought process and your own soul, can there be exact duplicate thinking and reasoning?
Well, that's beyond our capability, and I think maybe for 100 years that's going to be beyond our capability.
100 years, that's nothing. A little more than that.
I have a tape recorder, and the tape recorder sounds like you. The tape recorder has all the mannerisms of you. It does not mean it is you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to take, many, many decades before we can get a tape recorder to mimic your personality, to be spontaneous, to
be hilarious. Right.
But again, you're talking 100 years ago, 100 years from now, maybe. You're not saying it's an impossibility. You're saying we're probably 100 years out from that type of thing with technology.
Advancing.
It's advancing as quickly and as it is.
So once
no law of physics preventing it.
Once that's accomplished, then that is immortality.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but who wants to live inside a tape recorder? Who wants to live inside?
No.
You won't be in a tape recorder.
The cloning, the actual making of another you.
Yeah, it's conceivable. You can't rule it out.
So that will be now. You will now be
immortal.
But
your body is replaceable.
Would you have all the memories that you had in your first body into that second body, so you can continue being?
Why not? Just program it into
it's
your
all
new
chemical
body.
stuff. We just don't know how it works yet. But once we figure out chemically what is a memory, what is that visual image that becomes a memory in your mind, how does your mind relate something and remember it and see it?
That could be
be fucking easy. It's like dittos.
This is the thing. The Big Bang Theory. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr.
What's
Kaku.
that, Dr. Kaku?
If you could replace every neuron in your brain with a transistor, and have a duplicate brain made out of transistors with exactly the same architecture as your own brain, then it would, in principle, have the same responses. That is, same personality.
Right.
It would have the same wishes, goals, instincts.
This is
neuron. It fires the same.
This is Jim Norton again. How are you?
Hi.
Just curiosity. This is an odd thing. Now, you think that our universe may have started coming out of the kind of the ass end of a black hole. Is that correct? Is that a possibility?
There is a possibility that maybe we are a white hole.
Oh, we should tell him about the video I saw.
Doesn't it sound odd, though, that we just... Doesn't the whole thing we come from, like, this little atom seem a little... Is it possible that we kind of were a condensed planet or something from another universe? And you know how it gets down to singularity and it kind of kicked us out the ass end of a black hole, but we're just a much smaller version of something that was, say, a foot long.
But
like the super Earth.
You know what? Things that aren't explained. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doctor.
it could be a white hole instead of absorbing.
A white hole, which basically just shows up on time as opposed to a black hole.
But can I ask this? Can I ask this? We fucking
Guys.
we know
Yeah.
that the heart beats and what the heart does and what
Right.
but we
That's
don't
right.
know how we don't know what the motor is. There's no real beginning to the heart, or even this Big Bang Theory. To me, it's like there was a before the Big Bang Theory. There was a something before the Big Bang. Like the idea of nothingness doesn't register with me.
We
Like,
can't we can't wrap our minds around
It had to start with
nothing.
nothingness.
But then nothingness is something.
Right.
What's that, Dr. Kaku?
You think what happened before the Big Bang was that there was a multiverse. If our universe is a soap bubble that's expanding, that there could be other soap bubbles out there in a multiverse which looks like a bubble bath. And these bubbles fission, creating baby bubbles, which then expand, giving you the Big Bang Theory.
And the
Countdown, take me away or something.
Exactly, Chip.
Big Bangs could be happening all the time.
But what's in between? What's in between these? What's that?
Beyond the bubble,
Hyperspace?
is a higher dimension.
So it's basically space that is. Oh.
Expanding, but then people ask, what is the Big Bang expanding into? If the bubble is three-dimensional, then what it's expanding into is 4, 5, 6 dimensions.
Oh,
we
shit.
think up to 11 dimensions. So we think that in 11 dimensions, that is a true arena of the multiverse.
Wow.
And do you guarantee that the idea of aliens, that they're always smarter than us, could we possibly be the highest developed creature in the universe?
I find it very unlikely, given the fact that the Kepler satellite has now surveyed the galaxy. 1 out of every 200 stars apparently has an Earth-like planet going around it. And so I think that we can now calculate how many planets there are in the galaxy that are Earth-like. It's in the billions.
And that's only our galaxy.
But I'm saying, do you think we could be the smartest creature in the whole universe?
He's saying no.
That's almost impossible.
Very unlikely. In which case, other civilizations could be thousands, millions of years ahead of us, because the universe is 13.7 billion years old. So what's a million years out of 13.7 billion years?
Now, okay, that's the question. 13.7 billion years. What was the year before that? Do you understand? Like, that's what confuses me, that my mind can't get my head around, is the nothingness before the existence of the universe.
Right.
What's that? What do you think it was?
Our universe is probably connected by an umbilical cord to a parent universe. There was another universe that existed before our universe.
Jesus, that's a lot of time.
So 13.7.
Bubbles can peel off baby soap bubbles.
No, you're saying 13.7, and they say that's a kind of a give or take, like a 40-year ratio.
I go with the soap bubble.
I'm going
Also
soap
minus
bubble.
1%. We know the age of the universe to within 1% accuracy.
So you should celebrate its birthday or something, get a big hat.
Oh, Chip.
Dr. Kaku, is it possible that we're already connected to a higher life form?
Where? I mean, where would this higher
Exactly.
life?
I don't know how the
mean?
connection would be, but from somewhere else where they're way more advanced than us and we're already connected to them in some way, but we
Connected in
just
what
don't
way?
know that. I don't know.
Like-
I'm not a physicist. I tell fucking dick jokes.
They gave us the ingredients to soap and then left.
Yes.
Dr. Kaku.
Somehow there's already a connection. We just don't. We're not smart enough on our level to even understand that yet.
Well, some physicists have said that maybe the aliens are already here, perhaps on the moon, just like in the movie 2001. They would send robots to explore the moons of the universe, because moons are quite stable, and they would essentially have listening posts. And so maybe on our moon there is evidence of a previous visitation, but we are about 100 years away from having the technology.
Everything's 100 years away.
It's like when a contract says 2 weeks.
Is it
Right.
possible, Dr. Kaku? Hi, this is Paul Hoggus. Is it possible that when you get like a really young universe, that like an older universe could go inside of it?
Well, yeah, in the sense that if our universe collapses into a big crunch, then maybe it'll disappear into another universe. However, the latest experimental data indicates that we're going to have a big freeze rather than
a Patrice?
No big freeze.
Oh.
Wow.
Put your mittens on.
That's crazy.
Hey, can we ask you about the 3D printers? We just learned about them a little bit
right.
in the last week or so. Where's this technology going?
Well, ultimately, maybe within 100 years.
Another 100 years? You can't say 100 years for everything.
I think he's saying 100 years because he's going to be dead,
right?
And he don't give a shit. So 100 is the same as a million. It don't give a shit.
That sounds like something. Yeah, they just
say 100 years.
The goal of the 3D printer is to get a replicator. Just like in Star Trek.
Right.
That's the goal. In fact, I had my face replicated in 3D by such a device for the Science Channel.
Sounds frightening.
Yeah, did you see it and go, "Hi, I'm me"? Oh, hi. Oh.
Yeah, that's scary.
It took about 20 minutes to create a carbon copy of my face in 3 dimensions, made out of plastic, using a 3D printer. They scanned my face with a laser beam, and then using plastic, created a 3D image of my face.
George Lucas did that shit.
Wow. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, industrial
in the
light
future, instead of using plastic, we'll use flesh.
About 100 years.
We can already put cells inside a laser printer, a dot matrix printer, and shoot out cells instead of ink, and create heart tissue this way.
That's crazy. How long do you think it'll take to get that technology where we can actually maybe use it?
Well, the technology exists already by which we can create heart tissue. That's already been done at Wake Forest University in North Carolina.
So how long until we really...
hell of a school to go.
About 100 years?
Real replicators like Star Trek.
Do you think, Dr. Kaku, it's possible? I've often theorized this, that
He did?
if once we learn how to bend space-time and things of that nature and go through wormholes, is it possible once you could upload somebody on a computer, you could just zap them there and print them out? I think I asked you that, but it's not physically impossible that you could just... a computer could see exactly...
In 100 years, motherfucker, he said that.
But then we could just zap a person, like just go...
Who's talking, by the way?
Jim Norton, Dr. Kaku.
Physics preventing it. Yeah?
Yeah.
I have yet to see a law of physics that prevents that capability.
Yeah. Yeah, see, you're a physics guy, so unless there's a law of physics that says something can't be done, you will assume that in time...
It can be done.
It can be done.
Yes.
And that time would be probably about 100
And
years.
time travel is definitely not possible, right?
Yes.
No, there's a theory of time travel that's being looked at very seriously.
To go in the past or go into the future? I can't imagine you can go in the past. That has to be impossible.
There are hundreds of solutions of Einstein's equations which take you to the past. And if you have something called negative energy, then you can actually hold the gateway open.
So basically, Patrice is a time-traveling vessel. Because he said if you have negative energy.
Oh, you fucking douche.
That was a good one.
Now, here's my last question. Absolutely my last question.
Yeah, we got to get going.
If say you're the Tupac of physics, who's the Biggie of physics? Who's either your counterpart that you respect a lot, or your counterpart that you go, this guy is just ridiculous?
Bill Tetley.
Well, like, who's the big kahuna out there?
Yeah,
in your estimation, or if you're the big kahuna, say you. But who's the guy? That I should Google to that either
the guy you look up to, like a Dr. Chipperson or
in string theory, which is what I do for a living. One of the great engines of string theory that generates a lot of ideas is a guy named Ed Whitten at the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton, where Einstein worked. So he's a guy that likes to keep a low profile, but he's basically one of the big engines that drives the whole theory forward.
Is string theory looking like it's real, or is it? Some people say it's a bunch of bunk. Pardon my French.
No, we're in the process of testing the periphery of it with a Large Hadron Collider. Next year, it'll be zapped up to full power, and we'll be able to hopefully create sparticles. Sparticles are higher vibrations of the string. So the people who say that you cannot test string theory simply don't know anything about string theory.
If you see a string, like let's just say there's string theory, is it possible to cut one of those strings in half?
Yeah, we think that ordinary atoms are made out of vibrating strings. Every time you split an atom, you're splitting a string.
So isn't a vibrating string made up of something smaller? If you can cut it in half, isn't there something that makes up a vibrating string which is smaller?
Yeah, but every time you cut a string, you get another string. So the unit of strings is the smallest you can get.
So if you cut Jim Norton in half, will both of those halves live? Like a mollusk?
Barely.
Like a jellyfish.
Like some kind of jellyfish.
Yeah. A slug.
All right. Hey, Dr. Kaku, what are we promoting today, sir?
The universe.
Well, I've just got off my book tour. Physics of the Future hit number 6 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Oh, congratulations. Happy ending to number 4.
So a lot of people are curious about the future, and I've interviewed over 300 of the world's top scientists for that book.
Yeah.
So
a
a lot of people want to know what's in the laboratory, what's being done that'll change their lives.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I have one.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Fucking
Michael
doesn't laugh.
Richards.
The only laughing he does is when it's an uncomfortable moment. He kind of just goes.
You don't watch comedians there, Dr. Kaku?
We have a few on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe the people on Opie and Anthony.
Yes. Have you heard of
Opie.
I love him.
Have you heard of Jim Norton?
Jim Norton?
Well, I have now.
There you go.
All right.
Hey, that's nice.
Well, next time,
Oh, maybe
you
next
see
time
him.
he'll recognize you.
You've met a few times.
Do you laugh at Stephen Hawking? When y'all meet up, you just go, look at you, stupid.
I can't hear. What was the question? I missed
It was a Stephen Hawking thing.
You just want to smack
feel-
his dumb straw out of his mouth?
Yeah, you feel sorry for him?
He's lost control over everything except his blinking muscles and
It's
his,
important.
facial muscles. Eventually, I think we may actually hook up an electrode to his brain directly and hook his brain to a computer. This has been suggested
It's
seriously.
just an experiment.
Oh, he's done. He's like done in terms of.
No, he's still blinking his shit out.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he's still.
He still
He's
blinks
still
his shit out.
thinking. He's still thinking as smart as he ever thought. His body just went
His
kablooey.
brain is very active, except that he has lost control over his muscles.
Yeah, he can't pop lock.
With stroke victims, we've already done that. We've already hooked up the brain of a stroke victim directly to a laptop. They can now surf the web.
It's great. Half the laptop works.
They can do emails, write emails, answer emails. They can do anything you can do on a computer, and they're totally paralyzed.
You can send an email to like Ethel@roar.com.
Yes. I think you could.
That's fucked up what he just
I
said.
think Stephen Hawking's brain is perfectly normal. His brain is just as active.
But he has no more theories anymore. Like he can't, because you can't.
How do you
get him
blink out a
There's
theory?
Sure
no.
he can.
He's blinking shit
No, he
still.
has theories, but there's no more that's going to be.
What if he's trying to blink out a number like 3,218,000, but he has to start over?
Going to take a while.
No, it's a tremendous problem that he has. He can't use his hands to use a pencil to catch.
Jimmy can't either when he acts. It's
I
terrible.
know.
Shit.
Without using your hands, man,
Yeah.
it's like, oof.
Well, Dr. Kaku, thank
you
you
very much.
so much.
Yes.
For,
Always a pleasure,
always
sir.
A pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Always very insightful. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Bye. We'll talk soon. Dr. Kaku.
Okay.
I was
see
writing.
him.
I was writing notes to Patrice. Jim has met Dr. Kaku.
I know,
They
yeah,
live in the same building. They've been in the
It's,
same elevator, and he's still.
And he goes,
Jimmy
"He
says
goes,
hello
good
to
to
him
meet
all
you."
the time.
I don't mind. I'll see him, and I'll see him again, and he just gets frightened when you're like, "Hey, how are you?" Oh,
He goes, he's such a he's a skittish.
It's weird to be. I can't imagine being so physically unimpressive that he just don't remember you
He
ever.
does not remember you.
And I know Norton.
That side of
Norton,
his brain just doesn't work.
Norton wants to believe that he does it with everybody, but he don't.
But does he not remember you either?
He doesn't remember.
I don't think he remembers ever being
Opie,
on the
you
show.
at least you're Opie.
No, I like
Well,
I like the
Opie.
idea certainly, but I live right next to Jimmy, and I see him all the time, and I say, "Hey, Opie from Opie and Anthony," and he does this
Patrice-
clueless, weird thing and runs away.
Don't get
He's
mad at
not
me,
wrong.
asshole.
No. He's not wrong.
I like your theory, Patrice.
He's not wrong.
I would like to think that's what's going on.
I
here,
have
but-
met the same people 40 times who always put their hand out and introduce themselves. I really do not leave a lasting impression.
You know what? the way I would be flattered. He calls you Opie, and
Opie.
that's like Oppenheimer, who was
Sure.
the
Great
father of
physicist.
the atomic bomb. There, that's probably why he thinks Opie instead of.
Oh yeah, he
Opie.
does. He has no clue.
Opie would be silly.
He has no clue.
Norton just is not,
No.
said-
Hi, this is Jim Norton.
He said this is Jim
yeah.
Norton 4 times in
Yeah.
the same conversation, and there was no recognition.
On my tombstone, it's just going to say, "Here lies Jim Norton, remarkably forgettable."
Aw.
yeah, because you see, he's saying Jim Norton, and he's talking about
is he here?
metaphysics and
Oh, okay.
metaphysics and everything.
I
And
met a
just-
physics too. I was like, "How you doing?" It said, "Hi, Chip."
Oh, you didn't.
No, it's just a living bowl of grits with no butter on it. No salt, nothing.
Yeah,
just,
your grits. Why don't you kiss my grits?
Fucking Kaku just doesn't pay me.
We got a break.
He's so poor he can't pay attention.
Have to at this point.
Oh,
It's
shit.
not even
really?
a choice.
I'll just keep schooling you.
Big Mama Prods is in studio. That's Patrice O'Neill. Stress Factory this weekend, tonight and Saturday, or tomorrow, obviously. Tonight and tomorrow. 732-545-HA-HA. These tickets should sell out, right? So they should call ahead.
Yeah.
They should start
call
fucking
feet or
calling,
call
man.
hands if you're going to call ahead.
Patrice O'Neill at the Stress Factory tonight and tomorrow. When we
What,
get
you gonna be all
back.
stressed
Vinny
out?
said hi, by the way.
What?
I'll tell you that. Vinny-
Fuck Vinny
Fuck him.
and his
Fuck him.
stupid chicken wings.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
He's got good food there, too, actually. He runs a nice joint.
Try.
Chris Cornell next. Stay there.
Hey.
We're waiting for Chris Cornell to enter the studio.
Traffic, right?
You stuck in traffic?
Is he?
I'm really psyched that he's doing some solo stuff. You're on.
Oh, maybe my thing's.
You're
Oh, okay, my thing.
You're
My
on.
headphones were off. It was like the old dream I have.
Does Dr. Kaku
Where an uncle is molesting me.
Does Dr. Kaku drive you nuts like he drives me nuts?
No, not at all.
Just that socially he's just not there.
I don't mind because his mind, it's not like he's thinking of nothing. What he's thinking of is so much more interesting on a real level than what we're thinking of.
Like you said, he's looking at pictures to figure out where time started, and we want to discuss maybe a Seinfeld episode with the guy.
But he understands that. Like, we could talk about it in theory, like dumbbells, but when he thinks about the universe being on a bubble and, like, Patrice's mind can't wrap around that, his mind can.
Right.
And he can think about, like, different dimensions. And he, like, I think, like, wow, that's cool. But he really knows what that means. When you say it's on,
what does he hear when he's listening to us talk back to him?
the sound you hear when your dog farts.
You think?
Yeah, of course.
I think it's like
So he's just being polite?
cicadas.
Yeah.
He hears cicadas.
He's being polite.
Yeah. But I bet that guy Ed that he talked to, who he likes in Princeton, when he talks to him, he doesn't talk about like a bubble bath or cookie people.
No, it's very, yeah.
He calls him, and it's interesting to him to talk to Ed.
You think they just laugh over it? They have a good chuckle.
I don't know what makes them laugh. Oh, I had a sandwich today. It tasted like it came through the collider. They probably crack up.
Collider jokes.
How could that happen, right?
Patrice O'Neill's here, Stress Factory tonight and tomorrow. We're gonna sell that shit out, right? Right, people?
Go.
StressFactory.com or 732-545-HA-HA.
And Patrice also will not be appearing in Tampa with me the 29th through October 1st
why
at the
not?
Improv.
Why wouldn't he?
Because
be
he has
there?
other gigs.
That would be cool.
And I'm coming to Pittsburgh October 20th through the 22nd as well.
Cool.
So those are my 2 dates. And I'm trying to book one in Jersey. It's all about me booking stuff.
Does Chris Cornell realize we want to start our weekends?
He's probably stuck in bumper to bumper.
He's on his way up.
Oh, he's on his way up?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm going to take off.
Why don't you stay?
What's wrong with you?
Should I say?
Yeah, why don't you stay? We just wanted to sit in here because you're being filmed.
You just want us to say, please stay?
No.
We'd like you to
I
stay.
thought that Chris Cornell would sit here.
You're welcome
And
to
I
stay.
wouldn't have much to add.
No.
Yeah, you would. You would have your point
Nah,
of view.
you can stay there. Believe me, you'll.
I know Black Hole Sun.
Tell him that.
You'll be able to come up with
He'll like
shit.
that.
He's kind of a regular cool guy.
Okay, fair
Chris
enough.
Cornell's really cool. He's
You know me, I don't like to cause trouble.
Oh, please.
Oh, are you feeling like you
Don't
just
you,
might? Is that what's going on here?
No.
You
I'm
feeling
you
itchy?
think about
You
it.
feeling itchy?
I'm trying to become. I know that black anger is good for the soul, but
What's under
black
Sway's hat?
happiness is good for
What's
the
under
for the
Sway's hat?
pockets.
What's under Sway's hat? Does he ever take that off?
A lot of hair.
Is that a lot of
obviously.
dreads on that?
Dandruff and positivity.
Why hasn't Sway come in and say hi yet?
Because he
You
doesn't
broadcast
like
next door.
it.
I don't know.
Sway is pro-black.
Is he
Is he?
like militant?
No.
Nah,
So then we'll get along.
Sway's cool. He just,
We'll get along.
you know.
Sway's a good guy.
Sway!
He's talking to somebody. Probably about making love.
What's up, Sway? He doesn't want to say hi.
Yeah, he has no interest.
Come in and
Coming
say
right
hi.
Sway,
Sway, what's up, man?
we just want to say hi to our neighbors.
How you
Exactly.
doing?
Never really got to feel so right. Let's be
I know.
honest, Sway. Tell the white people.
You're not interested.
I'm here, but it's just
Patrice is like, you're not in.
We live right across the street.
No,
See?
you know,
There's a train track in between your studio and ours.
no, right? I never
Just be honest, Sway. Just
tell
be
them the
honest.
truth.
You can be
It's
honest.
time to
Because
repent
they ask
and
a white
confess.
question like, hey, what's under the hat? I'm just saying, what's under white hats?
Fucking hair.
What's under the hat?
Nah, because I know them, so they just know. But
Patrice doesn't think you like us.
I know
He gets a feeling.
I don't know.
gets
He
a
always
feeling.
says that because he thinks black people just don't like us.
Yeah,
which is not true.
I think, as a black person, be honest, Sway, when you look at him, immediately you can't like him.
Pointing at you, Norm.
I didn't have any desire to meet him. I would have.
There you go. That's why he hasn't come in here.
Yeah.
You work across the street. It's just like me and my
come on
Chinese
in.
neighbors. No
But
one
once you
talks.
get to know me, I'm a lot of fun.
You're all right, man.
Chris, take a seat over there and shit, I guess.
Absolutely.
We're on the air.
We never really met.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, it's all
You
right.
know Sway? You're seeing Sway from MTV.
What's up, man? How you doing,
Hell
bro?
yeah. You guys,
How are you?
Chris Cornell.
That dude
of
looks
course.
scary, man. You know.
That's Chris Cornell.
That
dude, that's Chris Cornell.
All right, I got to go back to work.
All right, Sway.
Oh, damn.
All right.
We just wanted to meet you.
Sway, we
finally.
wanted to finally, just break the ice and say hi,
Absolutely.
We'll
We'll never talk
Pop
again,
around
but at
the
least
hall.
we said hi.
But at least we could do that, like, smile, kind of nod, hey, in the hallway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys are legends to me,
Recognition.
man. I've been following you for a long time. So
We've
it's a pleasure
seen you on
to be your
MTV for
show.
many, many years now.
Absolutely. Now I'm doing
Yeah.
Shade 4-5.
I know,
now,
you're right
so
there.
We're family. Let's do
One
something
door
for
away.
real, though.
We'll do something
You
together.
guys come over there. I'll come over
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We'll
used
bring
to
our
go over
guns.
All right. What
I
happened?
used to go over
I
there.
got beat up. What happened?
No, it's fine.
No,
It's
everything's
totally
good.
fine.
Get racist, Sway.
No,
We're not
Wow.
racist at all. But, excuse me, you interrupted. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course he interrupted.
All right, Sway, thank you.
Take it easy, Sway. Wow, Chris Cornell
Taking up Chris Cornell's time.
is
sorry, Chris.
in the studio now.
Over to Shade
Goddamn.
4.
Chris, I got to start. We earlier in the show we played The Keeper before
Yeah.
you got here,
That's excellent.
and fucking love the song.
Thank you.
Me and Ann always talk about when you slow it down, you have just the most amazing voice,
Thank you.
and it's good to hear that.
Yeah, there's two things there. You could either get the holy shit Chris Cornell, like really fucking getting the range and screaming and sounding amazing, but you could take it down and do a real soft song that is just
Really shows off your
yeah.
voice too, man.
Touching, quite touching.
I think there's a compliment in there somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little weird,
There's
right?
confusion in there, too.
I know,
It's not your fault.
I don't know what I'm saying.
It's something that
I
have done.
I saw
I've created this
Soundgarden.
in my life that nobody really knows. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't. I just like music, so whatever I like, I want to kind of go do
Right.
sometimes. So
Do you like Johnny Cash's cover? I mean, I love his cover of Rusty Cage. When you first heard that, did you like that?
yeah, I did.
You did.
It baffled me a little the concept, but I learned a lot, which was you can take any song and kind of do whatever you want with it, and if it's a good song, it'll work out. He just took Rusty Cage, a Soundgarden song, which was this crazy against the wall riff, and then they just rearranged it so it went dum 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 dum, and then he sang Rusty Cage over it. It was Johnny Cash. It was great.
And then you're like, yeah. He went dum 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 dum. It's
what
like
he
wow,
did.
which is really a stretch for Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
that whole thing.
Johnny
He
Cash
did his
song.
Johnny Cash thing.
But he turned me on to the song from Soundgarden. Like, I heard Johnny Cash's first.
Oh, really?
And then he got into Soundgarden.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
That's an odd thing.
I'm very
Don't you
anal
think?
about rock. I listen to Sabbath and Kiss,
Anal
and I
about
feel
everything.
disloyal if I like anything else.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Sabbath
a
and
complete
Kiss.
creep.
He's
You are
obsessed
disloyal
with
if you like
Sabbath.
everything else is true.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the 70s.
But I got messages from people after Johnny Cash did Rusty Cage, telling me that how great the lyrics were, and they never said that when they heard my version. It was
Wow.
Johnny Cash sort of. I think you listen to him more, and he sold those words more than I did somehow.
I wonder
He
why
was
that
good at
is.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
even when I met him one time, and it was terrifying. It's the only time I've really been scared to talk to another human being, and when he spoke, like the ground vibrated around you a little bit because his voice was really low, and he was just a super intense guy. But some people have that ability when they sing. You stop and pay attention to what they're saying.
How is it out with Soundgarden? Everything fun?
Great.
And, yeah.
Yeah. We
Oh,
had a blast.
I went to the Jersey show. Fucking amazing.
Thank you. It's fun. It's really fun.
Really
You know,
loud still, man.
really loud. on
Really
stage.
loud still.
That's
Holy
good though,
shit.
because sometimes you see bands
And they-
when they get back together again, and it's like, fuck, man,
Yeah.
I remembered this when it was loud,
Oh, they like to
and
keep
now I
it
can
loud.
talk to the person next to me.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, no,
No,
no.
you're not having conversations when you go
No.
to a Soundgarden show.
That would be weird, almost. I think if you could hear anybody speak.
Yeah,
'Cause that happens sometimes.
It sucked. I went to see and this is years ago. I went to see Blue Oyster Cult when they got back together, and I was able to lean over to my friend and go, "Yeah, this is ME262. I'm glad they're doing this one." And you're like, you never would have. Your nose would have
Turn
bled.
that shit up, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I like, though. Still, yeah, Soundgarden. You're gonna hear the volume. The guys are all into it and shit, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
We're all having a great time. We tried to actually, in the interest of not murdering our ears, getting tinnitus, and we tried to back off the volume a little bit this time. We were talking, we were rehearsing a lower volume, try that out, and it just everybody sort of reaches and turns up slowly at different times across the stage, and then it starts playing louder, and then at some point,
usually you see the first person you usually see is the guitarist to go over and go like, just touch to get his lead up a little bit, and then the bass player's like, well bottom end is gone, let me go up here, and then the drummer's fucking just pounded and trying to play a little louder, and Chris is screaming.
Yeah, and after 10 little bit, it's
before you know it,
it's insane.
Are your ears shot?
Supposed to be.
No, my ears are pretty good, but after some of these shows in the summer, I definitely was hearing bells and.
Oh, you don't do the plugs?
No, I do
all
the
his hair
sometimes, but I don't. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You don't hear that.
Yeah, I hear that.
That whistly sound, man.
Oh. Or sometimes just in the middle of the night wakes me up. It goes away.
Do you have to? In a while, it does. Do you have to go to sleep with like something on, like a TV or?
Thank God. I hope that doesn't happen. I have friends that do that.
Yeah, like you just because you
have to have a fan or something.
Yes, something. Someone in the room telling you your rule. No, that's like what idiot I am.
That was all right though. Man.
Oh, that stunk.
No, it was kind of cute.
What's the solo tour all about? What are we going to hear?
I don't know. I usually don't do set lists for that.
Oh, you just.
But it's like whatever I want from any.
You just kind of make it up as you go.
Yeah.
You never get somebody yelling, do Stonehenge. From the
I
crowd.
do. If you yell it, I'll probably try it.
Give it a whirl.
That's sort of part of what's fun about it, because with a band, especially a loud band, it's hard to communicate and let's do this song because someone brought a sign, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like when I'm alone, I can just do it.
What songs have you tried?
Songs that I haven't ever really tried to play acoustically, I've tried before. I remember someone yelled out 4th of July from a Soundgarden song, which is sort of ridiculous to even try on an acoustic. And I started to try to bang that out and sing it. It was, and then, people usually will come up with just dumb ideas like, if it's an acoustic guitar, they'll be screaming Jesus Christ pose. I don't know if they think they're being funny or whatever, but it sounds a little like bluegrass, though. If you
try to play it on acoustic. I really think it's just people hoping. Please play that, and it's like no.
Yeah, they just want to hear it, and they think maybe you can make it sound like the record without any drums.
Virtually impossible.
You don't understand how hard that is to do, right?
Do that.
What kind of covers do you do? I guess what I was asking too.
I don't know anything I can think of. When I was in Jersey, I did a couple Springsteen songs. That went over good. It always does. You're in Jersey, you play Springsteen, it works.
Yeah, you're pretty safe. Yeah. That's a safe bet with that one.
Do you remember seeing Anthony in California?
You're an ass.
I'm making sure he remembers.
Oh, at the hotel.
Yeah. We're at the Beverly Hills. That was good. You were getting your house painted.
That's no. I think my house flooded.
Oh, it was something. Yeah, something. You were getting it fixed or something. Yeah. But it was kind of cool because, like everybody sees Chris on stage, fucking epitome of the rock star, and he's there, saying with his kids like, hey, don't splash over there. It's like seeing the dad, Chris Cornell, was kind of an odd, out of place, but very cool thing. Because you came across, I don't know, you could be the worst father in the world, but you came across as a great dad, like really attentive and stuff. But it was the weirdest thing to see in real life. It was completely out of context, Hey, look, he's swimming over there. They're riding on his back, and it's like, hey,
being a father,
black hole sun guy.
Did the kids ask who he was? Like, who's the man with no shirt and a beer in each hand talking way too loud for this hotel?
All right, shut up. I do like that cabana service over there.
Yeah.
That is very, very nice. No, did you, somebody, I read on something, did you, you stop drinking in like 2000 or something?
I think it was 2002.
Was there one of those big reasons, or just kind of a I
don't remember any of the reasons.
That's probably why.
About the 5 or 6 surrounding years, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Maybe that.
But I'm glad I stopped drinking. Like I feel like I get a lot more done.
Were you afraid creatively? Like
no, I was never anyone that I could never write anything. Drunk or high on it. It's never worked.
Really?
I would try, but it would be awful. Like especially if I wrote lyrics and then the next morning I would read it, I would immediately burn it. I didn't want anyone to ever even see it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was horrible at that.
Because some people are really good at that, and then, you know.
No, I've heard that story, but I remember I was in rehab, and there were people saying, so it's, it's going to be very difficult for you to transition into being creative when you're not loaded. And I said, no, not for me. Coffee was the only thing that ever worked for me, which still works.
For writing, yeah.
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 Coffee rules.
When I would drink, I think creatively the best thing I could do was, kind of get into those long, really bad blues jams that drunken guys get into.
Never
it's the only time you
ends.
can really put up with that and have the attention span for it, which is really depressing. So that's all over.
Can you sit down and say, I'm going to write right now, I need to write, or does it just kind of like you wake up at 3 a.m. with lyrics or a riff?
Idea or something,
I think both those things happen. And probably to anybody that writes anything, probably both those things happen. At some point, you'll end up in a position where you have to sit down and you have no ideas and you got to write something. It's like, God, I told these people this would be ready, And
like a deadline or something. That's got to be a little bit of pressure, yeah.
Like with a band, like working with Soundgarden, there's a lot of co-writing scenarios where, I'm going to take your song home and work on it, and then come back and we'll have something. And you can't necessarily wait for lightning to strike. I always feel like that's the best way to go, though. Just wait around until ideas pop into
something. Yeah. With the Keeper, was that written specifically for the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the movie? Machine Gun Preacher.
Machine Gun Preacher. Yeah.
Machine Gun Preacher. So, do you find that harder to write something on a subject like, here's a movie, hey, write this? Because like I told you last time you were on, the Casino Royale opening theme is fantastic. I love it as just a regular song, not even as a movie theme.
Well, thank you.
Is it harder to say, hey, here's a movie, here's what the movie's about, or?
Well, I guess, with an entire film, and a script and a story, like something like The Keeper, where it's based on the Machine Gun Preacher, who's a real guy, and it's his real life, and the scope of his life is really crazy. And he's like, he goes from meth head biker to born again Christian to guy that builds an orphanage in like a demilitarized zone in South Sudan, and he likes to shoot people, but he's a humanitarian, and like there's a lot to go on to write a song with that.
That's kind of true. Yeah, a lot of material there.
But it's also not like it's for a film. It's a collaboration with people making a movie and a screenwriter, and so that I can't just do whatever I want.
So they do have input on the song itself.
Well, I get pretty lucky most of the time when I've been in situations like that.
I'm good enough.
They just like it.
Yeah, they just like it.
Well, I've also had the other where I'm not sure if that works. I'm not sure if we like it, but usually things just go well.
Yeah.
I think if you try,
you really,
just
give it a
try.
whirl.
Yeah, just try to do a good job, and it usually works out.
Do they tell you if they want it to be acoustic or heavy, or they just kind of leave all that up to you?
Pretty much left all that up to me on this. And with Machine Gun Preacher, it was hard because there's sort of like this period of earlier in his life that's kind of like maybe biker rock 70s, and then I could have approached it from a gospel-oriented thing when he's sort of becoming this preacher. But then there's African music, Sudanese choir, there's hip-hop, and there's all these different periods in the story where different kinds of music could fit in, and somehow or another I ended up with just an acoustic guitar and singing. I'm not really sure how that
You look at everything and go, that's just too much shit here. Let me grab a guitar.
Are you actually singing the movie plot, or no? You're not singing about them? Or are you singing something that fits it thematically, or actually what goes on in the movie?
My approach was like, because I don't know what it's like to be one of the children that the story's about, or the Sam Childers, and I'm not him, so I didn't have those experiences. So I ended up kind of approaching it like, what if Sam Childers were Woody Guthrie and he was writing a song about this situation and the plight of these kids and his dedication to risking his life to just make sure they're safe. And that's where the idea came from.
Yeah, because that to me is the hard part, is capture. Because I know I'm not a songwriter, but I know I would just write like scene by scene and just,
your song make it all hacky.
And then the man got on the plane, just
your song would be 90 minutes long.
It would be
literal dialogue from the movie.
Right.
It's just horrible.
And he ducked in. I thought he was shot, but he was fine. It would be like, this stinks.
You were I guess a big part of the Pearl Jam movie.
He's in the documentary.
In the documentary.
Yeah, Cameron Crowe film.
Yeah, about Pearl Jam.
Was great. He did an amazing job, and it's a great documentary for fans, because I feel like you really kind of get to see behind the curtain a little bit, and everybody's personality comes across very genuine, and then it's a Cameron Crowe film, which he's a guy that was a music journalist from the time he was, I don't know, 15 or 14. And then, so he was interviewing Led Zeppelin when he was 15, and then he became an accomplished movie maker. So you put those two things together, and it's really an entertaining film. It's great.
Yeah, our own Travis here is a giant Pearl Jam fan, so he won't shut the fuck up about it.
Got a lot of Pearl Jam fans here.
No, I know.
I fucking love Pearl Jam.
It's amazing.
I can't wait to see this thing.
You should actually show Chris the Mexican guy or the Chilean guy.
Did you see the Chilean guy yet?
Have you seen this Chilean guy that sings?
Someone get on the. It's really quick. He does Yellow Ledbetter.
Where the hell? Travis. I thought I saw Travis.
Even for 30 seconds, you got to see it.
It's ridiculous.
It's a show called.
My name is, but it's in.
Mi nombre es.
Yeah, mi nombre es, out of Chile.
Out of Chile.
And they get these people and they dress up as much as they can as somebody, a singer, and they get up and sing as best they can in the style of. And most of them are pretty goofy, and they can't speak English, so they're just speaking phonetically.
A bunch of them they're off, you could tell.
And this guy's like, mi llama es Eddie Vedder.
Right.
And he starts singing, and I was like, at first, I swear to you, I was like, no, this
Where's
is bullshit.
The goof? They fucking,
They like overdubbed this thing on here. Here he is. You got the headphones? You need some ears.
Mi nombre es Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder.
Well, it's like a sort of a contest, too.
Yeah. It's one of these kind of game shows. I thought he was lying.
Oh my God, that's pretty amazing.
I swear I thought they were.
And they're sitting listening and getting ready to judge it.
Yeah.
That'll be worth doing at an actual Pearl Jam show just for a minute.
Yeah, I know,
just have them come
right?
out and just see everybody look confused and upset.
And upset. The guy is doing an amazing job.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And this is what they'll do. If Eddie Vedder leaves Pearl Jam, they'll just fucking cart this guy out the way they did in Journey.
Like Journey, yeah, you can hit it.
Yeah, so.
That's just.
Isn't that wild?
When I first saw it, I was like, "Come on, they friggin'
overdubbed or something.
Some goofy guy found this show clip and popped friggin' Pearl Jam on top of it."
Yeah,
But
you ever find anyone that does you real well, Chris?
No, I've had people send me stuff.
Hey, Chris, I sound just like
you.
Check it out.
And
Do you?
There'll be like just a moment, where I kind of hear it, but most of the time I don't. I don't hear it.
Well, over the years, you got to realize, without the pat on your own back, that you got a pretty good voice, good range.
I think I do a lot of stuff, so it's hard. I remember Timmy C from Rage used to say that he didn't really know where home base was for my voice. Like there's no real.
Yeah, like if you're writing,
that's what he does all the time.
Or if you're writing for your range,
kind of. And I think that comes from songwriting. Whatever it is, I just kind of want to hear the singer that's going to sound right. And so I never paid much attention to range.
Yeah,
it would be like, oh, I want to hear that melody, and it would be whatever key the song was in, and then that would just be it.
So many singers want to punch you in the face right now that you just say that like, I never thought about range.
Right.
Like some people are just
really
like, I'd love to be able to hit that note, and it's just like, nah, he could just hit it.
Not from that. There's on-the-job training though. Like the several years of, like the early years of Soundgarden. We started in 1984.
Jesus.
So it was a while of really being in a band and playing shows and doing it. I had very little range when I started.
Really?
Out. Yeah.
You were able to crank it up.
Shit.
Man, that is That is amazing. And then over the years, how do you take care of it? Do you have to?
Well, it helps not to drink and smoke.
Oh, well.
That makes it easier.
Does it?
Other than that, yeah. It's all the obvious things, really.
It's just the obvious things,
Yeah.
you know. You can't drink like a fish, smoke cigarettes or weed.
Yeah, and you can a little bit, but like a lot doesn't work.
Yeah.
But for much, really. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can shoot pool or play shuffleboard. Smoking a lot. You can get those things done.
You can do a lot of
sports.
When you're in a band and you're out doing solo stuff, do other band members get resentful? Like whoever's out doing the solo stuff, whether it's the singer or the guitarist, do they start to feel like almost like you're leaving the relationship to do this?
Well, with Soundgarden, everybody always did stuff. I mean, Matt and I did Temple of the Dog in 1990, and you know, that I think that was sort of a testament to just the trust that we had inside of the band. That it's okay to go out and do other stuff. And know that you're kind of safe in your band and everyone's secure in the fact that this is what everybody you know is dedicated to all the time.
Is there ever a time where the band wants to do something, but you're like, oh, I know the solo stuff's booked. I can't.
Not really.
You try to work it out. I
Not
would
really.
imagine,
Yeah.
right?
Not really. I think at this stage of being in Soundgarden, it's kind of good that everybody's doing other things because
A break is healthy, I would assume.
Well, I like to be really, really, really busy, and I think that you know, to have that all sort of fall on the shoulders of Soundgarden probably isn't that great of a thing. I think for us to be able to do what we do with a more relaxed pace and not have like 2-year projections of what our schedule is going to be and release dates before we've written any songs for a record. That never really worked for us.
Why didn't you guys go back to the Temple of the Dog thing? Why didn't you go back to the Temple of the Dog thing? It was 1990, and
well,
you guys had some magic there. Another album
we were in
or
separate
something.
bands that were really busy.
Yeah, but there was never time in the last it's been 20 years now to get back and try to do something else with that.
I don't know, maybe because of the fact that it was something
for Andrew.
It took a couple of weeks to do it, and then it was very special, and it surrounded kind of a subject that was sort of important to us, being that it was a tribute to our friend that died, and I'm not sure if it necessarily would have felt natural to like at least to go back and write other songs or record it. It would be fun to play shows or something and play the songs more. Yeah, because we've only done it, every 6 years or so. Somehow something will happen where we get together and play.
Have you noticed a big change in personality-wise? Because you guys were kids when Soundgarden originally, and now you're men, guys. Have you noticed huge personality changes in some of the guys where you're like, wow, that guy's really changed?
I feel like with everybody, even other guys in Seattle bands that I grew up with, everybody's pretty similar to the way they always were. I just sort of see everyone being a little less goofy and having more patience, I think.
That's just growing up.
Just growing up,
anybody,
yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to do with where you're from.
I think doing solo stuff too, it's like it's got to be resentful when there's 4 people creatively collaborating, or 5 people. It's got to be annoying to have someone's ideas always overriding yours, or the one guy with the shit idea that everybody has to politely listen to. At least you can go out and do it, and it gets it out of the system, so there's no one just resenting the fact that their ideas can't be, I guess, made real or brought to fruition, as we say.
Well, I think that's sort of where side projects from bands usually come, because the people, it's not always going to make sense that something one guy in a band's going to want to do doesn't work for the band. And maybe it just, there's a lot of things I've done since the beginning of Soundgarden that didn't necessarily make sense for Soundgarden. It wouldn't fit. And I think that's where those side projects come from most of the time with any band.
You had a great song on, I don't remember the name of the song, but it was on Slash's record, which was really good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing album. Did you write that, or did he write that and just asked you to come in for it?
He wrote the guitar parts, and I just kind of took that and wrote to it, really, and responded with emails of MP3s.
Oh God, just back and forth. With
yeah,
sound,
we were in the studio the day that I came in to sing it, and it was it was the final version of the music. But initially, it was just the demo that he sent me via email, and then I recorded over it and sent it via email back, which is weird, but
future.
Strangely, it works.
What do you do? How do you tell somebody if they're sending you ideas that are just atrocious? Like, even if it's a guy you respect and he's like saying, oh, no, maybe you should sing this. And you're like, ugh.
You go dark for a really, really unreasonably long time.
Send him back corrupted files. Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you get emails that are just question marks. Like, where are you?
Right.
You just ignore it.
Yeah, you don't actually say, like, that was hard. You just actually come back with something that's better and just go, no, here's what I got. I didn't see that. Or...
No, you just ignore it.
just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you write so much, you've written a lot of songs. Do you start feeling like have you ever written anything where you've looked at and gone, hey, wait a minute, I've done that before? God, like I guess you don't want to be redundant.
Actually, done stuff twice where I'll realize this was an idea I already had, and maybe I just didn't record it. But what's way worse than that is. I'll get some melody in my head and think that it's really great, and then realize it's someone else's song.
Yeah,
exactly.
To a T.
Sounds good for a minute, right? And the only way, all the glitters is gold. I've heard that.
This is really
it's like, oh, the Beatles did this.
This is so catchy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Something
it's
about
be great.
it. I don't know what. It's like as though I've heard it before. Oh,
yeah.
shit,
Guys, I got it.
before.
I saw her standing there.
Yeah. Like a virgin.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like that. I think it's a great idea. I think it might go over big with the kids.
Will you just scrap the idea, or will you like go, all right, because maybe you add a little bit to it and you don't realize that you got the basic foundation from somewhere else? Will you scrap the whole idea and just go, fuck it, I can't, or will you just build on it?
Yeah, if it is exactly something else. I think like a lot of the time you can play me in kind of any song and I might be able to tell you 2 or 3 things that have the similar notes or similar.
Right.
But if that happens, that's okay. But if it's just one thing, it's kind of a carbon copy of somebody else's song.
Yeah.
And it happens.
It's amazing how it goes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I haven't really heard a Soundgarden, at least, be guilty of something like that. Some of the
quality control in place.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Something
It's
must
not
be.
going to get to you.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say, that sounds exactly like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the song's never going to make the show.
They're like, no way. You play it and go, shit, it is.
Yeah, the song's not going to make the album.
You got to have people like that around you, though. Like
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, who I like, got a lot of shit because that one song sounded like Madonna, a lot like Madonna, and nobody around her probably, because she's solo, said to her, "You can't do that. It sounds just like Madonna." In a band, at least you can call each other out and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's true. That's what's great about a band. There's that's what creates the identity of the band. That's what sort of serves the fans. You can't take hard right turns if you're in a band that's truly democratic. You can't go hard to the right or hard to the left because you've got a bureaucracy that is going to sort of slow that down at least a little bit.
Would you guys ever work with Black Sabbath? Like on the road or something?
That'd be great.
Cool.
Obviously, I played a show with Black Sabbath in Germany, and it was unbelievable. I guess that would have been like 5 years ago.
Was it on Ozfest?
No, it was just like a German festival.
Oh.
And we played, and then they came out, and it was really incredible. I was blown away. Everybody was great. The only thing that was a little weird was the drummer had an actual guy crouched down beside the hi-hat with using his fingers to count off measures and beats to the guy, so it would be sort of 1, 2, and then 2. So he always kind of knew where he was. He didn't really look at the guy, but the guy was there in case he needed to look at the guy.
That's really odd.
I think Bill Ward's Bill Ward. I wonder if his hearing is going a little bit.
I don't know.
Play with a click or
maybe
something.
He just got lost. I mean, it can happen, I guess, over time where you sort of your mind can wander. But he didn't. He never looked. He never seemed to need it. But the guy was there for him.
I don't understand what that 1, 2, 3. Like, how would that help during a song? I mean, I'm not musically inclined.
If you get lost in the song, I would rather you just look down and keep the beat to the guy's fingers, and regardless of what you're hearing, you're on.
You're doing your part.
They were so good. was really incredible. I mean, that's when you stop and go, oh, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how the real guys do it.
Have you noticed Ozzy's voice sounds a lot better now? It's weird. I think he quit drinking. He sounds like a lot healthier now than he did 5 years ago.
Something about that. I don't know what.
Right.
Yeah. If you pause and like look at certain things, I don't know. I always felt like he was just sort of uniquely him. So I've always liked his voice live. I always felt like he did a great job.
Yeah, even when it cracks, it's still fun.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still Ozzy.
He forgets the fucking worst over the mountain 30 seconds into the show. Who cares? It's still great. He would do that. He would just start singing the last verse first, and nobody gave a shit. It just worked.
No, you're singing the right ones.
You know what? It's 10:15. I don't want to step on Ron Fez's time. Chris Cornell, new song on iTunes. I guess The Keeper, right?
Yeah, we're gonna play it again.
Yeah,
might as well play it again.
It's great. It's from Machine Gun Preacher.
Yep.
And the dates for all the tours. He's going to be doing Carnegie Hall here in New York, November the 11th. I'm sorry, November the 21st of this year. And there's a bunch of dates, including the Borgata and
great,
Allentown. There's Count Basie and Red Bank. Just go to chriscornell.com and get the dates.
Great.
He's playing everywhere.
It's all written down here too on this sheet of paper, and I'm going to take it because I have no idea what my.
There, take that with you so you know where you're going to be.
Thank you. This is
Chris,
great.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
And Patrice O'Neill, where you at?
Stress Factory tonight and tomorrow.
Yes.
There you
Patrice
go.
O'Neill.
And Jimmy?
Tampa, Florida Improv, September 29th through October 1st. Pittsburgh Improv, October 20th through 22nd.
I'll be in my yard with a beer.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yeah, and after that, you could just put any day dash 2011.
All right, we're going to leave you with Chris Cornell's song, The Keeper. Have a good week.